Okay. See if we'll have any tech issues today. Who knows, maybe other Laura will decide to pop in the middle of the stream again. I mean, he's welcome. He's a cool guy. Alright. So let's pull this up. And then let's pull this up. I got stuff all over the place. Alright. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we're over here. Go and get the game loaded. It's going to be wonky for a few seconds. There we go. And it's immediately broken. Wow. That, I didn't even alt-tab and it broke. Okay, hang on. Let's try this. I have an idea. It's already broken. Why is it already broken? Oh. How did that not happen yesterday? Okay, hang on. I have an idea. Okay. So then we quit out. We hit play again. So today... See, I actually moved the GOG window away from it entirely, so there's actually nothing behind it right now. But that didn't appear to help. Like, it's happening as I launch the game now. You seeing this? And that looks like that's why, but that wasn't happening yesterday. Yeah, no, I never have tech issues when it comes to the game. Never. Okay, I don't know how to fix it. Let's try this. No, I know what the... See, the shake is new, but I'm not sure why it's new, because it's the exact same thing that was happening yesterday. For those of you not aware, every time I fire up the game, I get a pop-up saying, hey, by the way, you've gone... Oh, I think I know why it happens. Don't show me this alert. Hang on. Okay, let's turn that off. Weirdly, I thought I turned it off yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I did. But now that the alert's off, it's still doing it. Even though it's not doing the alert and it's not popping up. It's just starting that way now. Yeah, I know. Zach Taft, I've played it before many times. In fact, if you're noticing, it's actually a completely different resolution problem, too. Do you see that? Like, it's not even the same box as it was yesterday. It's much higher up on the screen. In fact, that's so high up on the screen. That's not... What the hell? Alright, hang on. It's doing it here, too. Look, like, if you notice, it's just doing it to this. Like, look on the left side there. What in the world? Okay, I have an idea. KOTOR, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. And then let's do this. Yeah, I know you can't see it. Hang on. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to recapture it as a different source. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to try and recapture it as a new source. No, it's still doing it. And it's offset again. What in... God, what? Okay, I have a small idea here. Nope. Nope. No, Malachar, I've only tried that 8 times so far. I'm not even exaggerating. I think I have actually restarted the game 8-ish times at this point. Yeah, sure. We'll try that. Right as soon as I turn that off, see if that changes anything. Nope. Damn. That was an option. Okay. You know what? Sure, Malachor. At this point, why not? There, grass is off. And now it's back on. Turn VSync back on, too. I already tried changing resolution just a minute ago. Although, actually, I'm idly curious of something. Let's go down to absolute minimum here. Look at that. I think it's still doing it. Even when it's in postage stamp mode. It is. It's still doing it in postage stamp mode. You see that? Everything's over there. Nothing's actually... Now, that's interesting. That wasn't happening yesterday. Hi, Vigilant. Let me try something real quick. Last thing I'll try, and then I'll just give up. Move on. Yeah, OBS does not like pulling KOTOR. It never has. It has always been a pain to stream KOTOR. Every single time. I'm not even the only one who has that problem. Anyone else who's ever tried to do a KOTOR stream or YouTube video can attest to how much of a pain in the arse it is to actually pull KOTOR footage. I know one guy who actually just bought the Xbox version to grab from that because he couldn't do it on the PC at all. Okay. Last attempt. Then I'm just going to go with the backup option. Nope. Alright. Whatever. How did I get it during the lore run? By doing this. Which I really don't want to do. But this is our nuclear option, so... Have you tried playing it in windowed mode? You mean like this? It's in windowed mode, dude. And full screen, no. Absolutely not. Alright, whatever. We'll use the nuclear option. So, yeah, I can already see the stuttering there. And we're going to have some issues, but whatever. We're going to have to live with it. Oh, my God. Hi, Snufflegrunt. You know, the worst thing is I can't even ding this game for it. I want to, but I can't because it plays just fine. Yeah, that's because I had a filter over the other version to make it lighter. And I don't even remember what that was off the top of my head. I'll have to copy-paste it. Oh my god, blimey. Okay, so... Hey, Shamondo. What's up? Hello, Petey. Anything I like about Republic Commando? Yes, everything. I don't know what foshing is, but I do enjoy donuts. The Pikachus are like, oh my god, all these donuts! They just ate them all. Alright, one moment. Oh god, look at that stuttering. Look at that. That's pretty much unavoidable. Like, there's literally nothing I can do about that stuttering right there. That's just gonna happen because of the way we're streaming it. What's interesting is it's the same box. What does it think is there? Whoops, that's the wrong button. Both of them are off, Lycon. We could turn this on. No, it's still there. Thank you very much, Not Blessed. Much obliged, appreciate as always, sir. Thank you. And I will put that towards Ace Attorney 2. Alright. Is that the spot? That is the spot. Let's see if this fixes it or not. Nope, still acting like it's there. Stop, 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 stop! So I've seen this kind of screen tearing before. Usually it's because Windows thinks there's something under it right there that it's trying to render. But there's nothing there. There's nothing under the window. That seems to have fixed it. Just because I'm curious, hang on. Nope, still screwing up. Alright, whatever. I give up. I give up. I give up! Spent 13 minutes trying to get this game working properly. Let's just move on. God, let me out.
The council has decreed you may come and...
Strategy and war, Zach Taft. So, what, Karth? I do not have the patience or time for you right now.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Oh my god, I will kill you.
Oh, you want to argue some more, is that it? What does it matter that much? Why can't you just leave it be? I just don't trust easily, and for good reasons, which are my own.
I mean, I can make you talk, Karth. Trust me. Okay, before we continue, I gotta share a story really quick here. So last night I was streaming, or rather, I was on another person who was streaming. I was on Lore Reloaded's Star Trek game. And I pulled out the knife here, which I've been using for the KOTOR run. And all the other players and the GM were like, why do you have a knife on your desk? And I'm like, what? I was streaming KOTOR. And they're like, how does that answer anything? I just thought that was funny.
Oh, damn it. I suppose I won't get any rest until I talk, will I? You want to know why I don't trust anyone? Fine. Here goes. 5 years ago, the Jedi had just finished the war with the Mandalorians. Revan and Malak were heroes. I was damn proud to have served in their fleet. It was completely unexpected when they turned on us, invading the Republic while we were still weak. Nobody knew what to think, least of all me. Our heroes had become brutal, conquering Sith, and we were all but helpless before them. I mean, think about it. If you can't even trust the best of the Jedi, who can you trust?
I mean, I hate to point this out, but the Jedi are more susceptible to turning, not less. Also, I love this dialogue option. What do I have to do with Malak and Revan?
It's not that. That's not what I mean. There were others, good, solid, trusted men who joined them. Malak and Revan and the Sith deserve to die for what they've done, but the ones who fled the Republic and joined them are even worse. The dark side has nothing to do with why they joined with the Sith. They deserve no mercy. I know, and I should apologize to you. I've become so accustomed to expecting the worst in others, and you've done nothing to deserve that. It's just... oh, never mind. Let's just continue with what we were doing. I'd rather not talk about it.
Yes, Valvedrix. All of them. Which is really messed up when you think about it, but at the same time also makes perfect sense. I mean, really, doesn't it make perfect sense that all of the Sith soldiers would be former Republic soldiers? Like, I want you to picture a military in real life, and all of a sudden someone who's an evil, racist, bigoted bastard is like, I'm going to make my own military. Don't you think that there would be people in that military who would join that willingly? What? No, I'm not Revan. No, 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 no. No. And yes, I have played DOS 1 and DOS 2.
It is good sometimes to stop and reflect on the beauty of nature and the Force. I am sorry. I tend to get carried away. I do not believe we have met, apprentice. My name is Nemo. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, I need to find your dad for some reason.
Indeed. What is it you would like from me?
Yeah, what do you know about the Tainted Grove?
The Council has told you nothing of the Grove?
No.
Then it would not be my place to explain its significance. But as the light side can be embodied in living beings, so can the dark. The Grove can be found to the south and east in the plains, but be wary of Cathounds. They may be agitated by the power in the Grove. Is there something else I can help you with?
The Sith species have been dead for a long time. The Sith organization has come and gone. The Sith mentality is a philosophy that doesn't really die out, per se.
Very well. What is it you wish to know? Ah, yes, those caves. Those caves are dangerous for the unwary. Kinreth spiders infest the places. They are attracted by the colors and heat given off by the crystals, I think. It is a pity. Those caves are strong with the Force. Is there something else I can help you with?
I'd like to know about you.
About me? I am truly flattered. What is it you wish to know?
Who are you?
As I have said, I believe, my name is Nemo. I am here by the will of the Jedi Council. Indeed, my young friend, that I am. I have served the Council for many years, and have seen many apprentices pass through this enclave.
Well, but are you a member of the Council? By the way, hi Takota, and Mukul, and everybody.
I think perhaps you place an undue importance on rank and hierarchy. Understandable, but regrettable also. We each serve in our place, high or low. Is there something else I can help you with?
I like how you didn't answer the question.
I hope your time is well spent here on Dantooine.
Are you a Jedi? How long can you people continue to sit by and claim you protect us? Protectors? Ha! You sit in your enclave safe from the Mandalorians while we suffer. Those Mandalorian brutes have killed my daughter. They came to our land demanding our livelihood. But Ilsa, my Ilsa, said no.
They killed her?
There was nothing I could do. Too many of the Mandalorians and their Duros allies. I've come here to ask you, please, Master Jedi, stop these raiders and get revenge for my daughter.
Okay, yeah, I got this.
I will give you all I have. Just please, annihilate them from the face of this planet.
That's an interesting question, Art Monzo. What do you guys think? Who was the better Jedi Council? The Council from this era or the Council from the prequel era? What happened to you? Wow. That's horrible. I'm not going to demand anything of you because that's just really messed up. Oh yeah, and here's one of my favorite side quests. No, really.
Greetings, young Jedi. I wonder if you could assist me. I seem to have lost my companion, you see?
Your companion?
We were working on my farm to the north of here. I was working in the garden outside, and he was working inside. I heard the door to the house open, but not close. I went to see and found it wide open. I searched everywhere and could not find him. I worry so much. I need him back so badly. I wonder if he... Could he have been kidnapped?
Does anyone hold a grudge against him?
Not that I know of. None of my neighbors really know he's there. Maybe it was the Mandalorians. Or maybe Cathhounds. But no, Cathhounds are not intelligent enough to open doors. Although they have been more vicious lately. No, it must have been someone who could open the door by himself. Come to think of it, the door was locked.
Wait a minute. Could have been broken from the inside?
Well, yes, it could have. But he had no reason to run away. His programming...
His programming. He's a droid.
Well, yes, he is a droid. But he is very valuable to me all the same. He's the last piece of my poor passed-away husband that I have left. He is very dear to me, my precious is. I don't know what I'd do without him. He's the only companionship I have on all of Dantooine.
What exactly did you use him for again?
He is a personal assistance droid. My husband was a genius at constructing droids. He made this one capable of taking care of me for the rest of my life. As the last legacy of my husband, for my own personal ease of mind, I need him back. His absence gnaws at me like a gaping wound.
Wow, she really misses her droid, doesn't she?
Please, I beg of you, return my droid to me.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Master Jedi. If you find him, please send him home to me. I need him so much.
You are quite incorrect, Snufflegrunt. I am not running a single mod.
Uchiwa Penki, Tony Tuama Chi Kachiwa Chiwi Tong Hituama Achiwa I Uchiwa Bob.
That is a nice piece of armor right there. What I really could use is some better blasters. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he has any. Eh. Well, shoot. Hello? There we go. Actually, I think the woman quest is one of the better side quests on Dantooine. Legitimately. It would have been very easy for it to be too creepy or too humorous, but I think they hit a nice balance point with her. There's also a lot of ways to go with it. Let's see, I'm trying to remember all of them. So there's... Oh, come on, I'm running at 60 frames per second, just so I don't have this issue. Oh, come on, there we go, okay. Just get out of combat, I guess. So let's see, you can send him back by convincing him, you can send him back by forcing him, you can let him die, you can kill him, you can kill him and then also tell him you're going to tell her that he's out there, so she'll go out and die, and then you can go back and tell her he's out there so she can go out there and die with false hope. I think that's all of them? There's a few. Can I say just I love Force Lunge, by the way? But yes, Exar Kun was the beginning of the end for the Order. Like, more or less real. For real. Like, no joke. The Jedi Order being a horrible thing pretty much started with Exar Kun. Oh, right. Hang on a second. One moment. So, we've got... I just need to check my filters really quick here. 0.0, 0.48, 0.18. 0.48, 0.18, 0.48, 0.18, 0.48. No, 0.48. There. That doesn't look quite right. Yeah, that doesn't look quite right. What the hell? No, I didn't move the gamma any. Weird. Ah, there we go. It's just being weird. Okay, we got it. We're good.
You asked for this!
You'll never get me!
Let's go!
Yeah, Exar Kun was a monster in combat, as I've said many times. But more to the point, he nosedived into the dark side. In fact, I've seen several people argue it was actually bad writing, because he really did just leap off the cliff into the dark side. Yeah, he was not a good person. I call him a monster for a good reason, because he was a monster in combat, and he was a monster as an individual. Hang on. Did I? I did. Let's turn VSync back on. That should fix that. There we go. Jeez, this freaking game. So, I wanted to share something, and you guys can make fun of me for this, but even though this game is arguably a worse game than Warcraft 3 plus Frozen Throne, like, on a whole, I find myself far more relaxed while playing it. Probably because, you know, it's not the reforged version, with constant issues by being a bad port.
You've been holding out on us again. Since you haven't given us enough money, I guess we're gonna have to take it out of you piece by piece.
That's true, Dakota.
No, please. Take my wife and children instead. Anything.
Wife and children. Sounds like a good idea.
So, yeah. I'm glad he's dead. I would have killed him if they didn't. Why do they get in melee range to shoot? Did you notice that? Hang on. Let me get my guns here. Okay, I'm ready. Considering there's only like 3 behavior things. I'll check in a second, but yeah. There we go. Default attack. Yeah, no, they're on default attack. I mean, there's not a lot of options here, really. Because they're petty thugs who need, you know, whatever muscle they can get, basically, Art Monzo. And the Duro, well,
I'm here.
they're just here because there's money to be had.
What?
Yeah, I've said it before and I've said it again. As much as everyone tends to praise KOTOR 2 for the story aspects, I think KOTOR 2 improved the gameplay substantially pretty much across the board. Better interface, better combat, better balancing, better usage of abilities and skills, better variety of lightsabers and the effects that can go into them, better variety of feats, better AI scripts, etc., etc., etc. You get the idea. It also has way more bugs. Although, considering how many bugs I'm having here, I mean, holy crap. I would still probably consider KOTOR 2 a superior game from a gameplay axis perspective. And by probably, I mean absolutely, definitely 100%. Debating how I want to do the Romeo and Juliet quest. It's really funny to do the Romeo and Juliet quest full dark side. I forget exactly how it goes, but basically it's like, here's your two children, they want to be in love, and then I murder them both in front of you, and then I murder both of you. And they're like, oh my god. I think you could also back one side and then kill the survivor. Oh yeah, there's also lightsaber styles which change things in KOTOR 2. I forgot about that.
This is private property. By what authority are you trespassing on this estate? Leave immediately.
These settlers have come to Dantooine seeking privacy. Perhaps we should respect their wishes.
Well, bugs are always going to be a who knows kind of a thing. Like it or not. Because that's the... especially on a PC game. You know, I'm surprised the KOTOR remake rumor hasn't come up again recently. Like, I was expecting to turn the KOTOR remake rumor into a drinking game. It's still a rumor, by the way. That's the answer. There's nothing to say about it. Well, you see, the paladins are a little bit too busy praying in their temple to actually help people. That's our job. We're not bound by their stupidity or passivity. So, you know. I will admit, there is something simply enjoyable about the basic blue lightsaber. Not green. I've never been into green. Yeah, what Takoda says is basically accurate. Thank you very much, Snufflegrunt. Very much appreciate the sub, sir. Thank you. And if you happen to know where you'd like to put that as far as increasing interest or priority in a future stream, please let me know. Now, little funny anecdote. The main reason... that's that one. The main reason that they actually added the very existence... Hang on a second. You got it, Snufflegrunt. Thank you again. The very existence of the green saber was actually down to surprisingly decent visual editing and, visual directing. You see, Luke lost his lightsaber in Empire, but they wanted to showcase quickly and immediately that Luke had a new lightsaber. And they were trying to figure out how to show that in Return of the Jedi, but everything they came up with was too slow and too exposity. So they didn't really know how to get it across. Then the art director, I forget his name, please forgive me, said, why don't we just change the color of it? Sometimes the simplest ideas are, in fact, the best. So, green lightsaber, and now everyone immediately knows, new lightsaber. Just give me a little anecdote there.
Let's go!
You'll never get me!
It's interesting to think about, though, because originally there were only the two colors. Like, as in, that was the intent. Blue and red. Which is very, 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 very typical. An enormous amount of fiction across all of the last, 100 years at this point has used the blue and red combo to signify, good and evil. Blue was good, red was evil. It's very simple. But yeah, the introduction of green meant that all of a sudden the possibility for other colors was on the table. And now we have Tor, which every lightsaber in Tor technically has two colors. Even JFO technically follows that. But no, in the EU, which this is the EU that we're playing right now, the focusing crystal determines the color of the blade.
Time to rumble!
Depends on which writer we're talking about, Zactaft. But yes, this is blue. Blue, blue. I wonder who that weird person is over there. Ah, well. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson's big requirement for being in the prequel films was having a purple lightsaber.
How'd you like that?
Jehu? Okay. Oh, is that random NPC I need to kill over there? Yeah, sure, I'll go kill her really quick. Just let me kill these Mandalorians first.
For Mandalore!
Time to rumble!
Are you guys even fighting? Where is my party? They're fighting a completely separate pack of enemies. I am literally soloing this group because they're fighting these Cathhounds!
Let's go! You asked for this!
Of course I do, okay. Well, whatever.
Down you go! How'd you like that?
Ham.
What? What?
Anyways, in this particular game, the one we're playing right now, what determines the color of your lightsaber is the color of the crystal you put into it. So, I want to admit something while we're on the subject. I would absolutely and without hesitation go ahead and cheat just to give myself a silver lightsaber or a white lightsaber if it was an option. It's not. So I won't. Yeah, KOTOR 2 has silver as an option. Oh, I should probably do this.
Oh!
Oh no, in the AU, the saber color is determined by the crystal, but it's a little different than that, because in the AU, the only type of crystals that work are Kyber crystals, which there's a whole new thing about them being selected and selecting you, or being bled, or chosen destiny, blah, blah, blah. Whereas in the old thing, you can manufacture crystals, or you can assign other things to crystals, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Like, we're going to put a Crate Dragon Pearl into our lightsaber later, for God's sakes. So that's where Sandral is. Where am I at? I guess we'll go kill... I mean, hey, save Gianni? I mean, I'm okay. What do you think? Should we kill her? I like the idea of killing her. Whoever she is, I'm not really sure. I mean, she's not even a full character, am I right? Okay, honest question. How many of you killed her without really knowing your first time playing this?
I'm here. I will be your doom! Oh, oh, oh! Oh, oh, oh!
Okay, fine, hang on. Do I have advanced med kits? Hang on a second, hang on. I do. No, I don't. I don't have any advanced med packs. Oh my gosh, no wonder I'm sucking. Good morning, Bragwin. Listen, Jedi Dogma is the best thing ever. The Jedi told me so.
You are strong. Stronger than me, even in my darkness.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I am Juhani, and this is my grove. This is the place of my dark power. This is the place you have invaded. When I embraced the dark side, this is where I sought my solace. It is mine.
Okay, so you embraced the dark side?
When I slew my master, Quatra, I knew I could never go back. And now I revel in my dark power. Power enough to crush the life from someone such as you. Or so I had thought.
You killed your master?
Yes. I struck her down in the middle of training, consumed by my anger, embracing the power of hate. But it was not enough. What is it you want? Why do you bother me?
I like how every single dialogue option has had a "and I will kill you" option. Have you noticed that?
The Council has sent you here to kill me. Why then, when you bested me so easily, did you not simply finish your task? Is it not apparent that I can never be saved?
See, the thing here is she assumes she cannot be recovered from the dark side because once down the dark path you tread, forever will it dominate your destiny. Which, by the way, is a lie. Or at the very least, at best, it is misinformation. But the Jedi, especially the Jedi of this era, in the wake of the Exar Kun incident, they're really, 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 really anti-dark side, to the point where they treat it as if... I can't even think of a real-life perspective on something that is treated that horrifically. And yeah, I honestly wonder how many students, fell because they got touched by the dark power or gave in to anger for a few minutes and were like, "Oh my God, I have given in to the dark side. There is no help for me. I am truly dead and will never be alive again. There is no hope. I must give in." This is so stupid. I'm sorry. I know I disagree with Star Wars on many, many things, but even ignoring my personal biases, even within Star Wars, there is literally no such thing as gone too far down the dark side. Now, not everyone gets redeemed, because people who get redeemed and turned around have to have two very important things in Star Wars. They have to want to be redeemed, and they almost universally need someone else to help redeem them. They need someone reaching out to them. Luke to Vader is the most obvious example, but that's true in almost all the works of Star Wars. But no, you've touched the dark side. You're doomed. Get out of here. The moment you give in to the dark side, it's time for you to die. Bastila, Lord Harriman. So I don't actually want to kill her, but my persuade skill is crap.
Lies. Leave me and come back when you have the courage to finish your task.
Yeah, I don't think...
What?
So yeah, since I don't have persuade, aka the win button, this should be fun. I don't hold anger towards you. A Jedi does not feel anger. A Jedi feels nothing. If you feel something, you're clearly not a Jedi and must be killed immediately. That's how awesome we Jedi are.
Not anger. Peace. Yet even with your naive attitude, you managed to beat me. I am pathetic. I sit here and think myself to be great by embracing the dark side, but I am nothing. There is no way I could be turned back. I always thought they held me back, or jealous of my power. This is only because I was not good enough to meet their standards. I never have been.
I'm not going to argue whether or not the dark side is evil or not. It's totally not. But that's irrelevant to the conversation, because the relevant point is whether or not someone is permanently tainted by the dark side. That's the actual thing up to debate here. And quite frankly, the Jedi Councils, plural, are demonstrably wrong about the permanent failure thing. Kay, why do you think I have a knife here? I'm streaming KOTOR, dude. Come on. Think about it. Use the head, man. Come on. Yeah, let's go with this. The first step on the path of true knowledge is knowing you are ignorant.
I seem to still have much to learn, both about being a Jedi and about myself. But I wish the cost of my ignorance had not been so high. I wish that my master had not suffered because of me.
Persuade. Life is suffering. I guess there's no hope. I must kill you then.
If she were alive now, there would be so much I would say to her. So much I would apologize for. I think, in my own way, I truly loved her. How can the Council ever take me back with what I have done? Striking my master down in anger is unforgivable.
Show them you have freed yourself of this base passion? What? What? No. Forgive me, but I'm more on the Vulcan side of things. I know what you're thinking, but Vulcans are all, we don't have emotions. Yeah, no, that's propaganda. Vulcans have very strong emotions that they keep in check. There's nothing wrong with keeping your emotions in check. In fact, I think more real-life people need to do that. But trying to pretend you have no emotions, and let's say it that way, it is pretending that you have no emotions, is just going to make you less capable of dealing with them when they show up. I have held for years that one of the biggest failings of Jedi dogma is the idea that you must have no emotions whatsoever. Because you're not a frickin' robot. And then people automatically presume, oh, I have been tainted, for I have felt anger. There is no salvation for me. I must give in completely. And the funny thing is, I can think of another BioWare title that does this exact same overall approach. That would be BioWare, Dragon Age, with the Blood Mages. If you use blood magic at all, you are a Maleficarum and unredeemable, and you have given in to the demons, and you must die. When it's if the system is such that if you slip up a 1%, people don't have a lot of reason to not then go 100%. That's not true, Django. I can name one blood mage who was not evil or horrible or dumb. Well, okay, he was dumb, but I bet you can think of who I'm talking about if you think about it for a second. I'd have to think about trying to come up with a second blood mage who's not horrible, but I can't think of the one, and yeah, that's Jowan. Oh, Meryl. I forgot about Meryl. There's 2 blood mages who are fine. Like, they're not like, oh god, I totally give in to the darkness and evil. In fact, if you do all of Meryl's side quest stuff, which I'll forgive you if you don't, you'll find out that she herself is actually extremely cautious about using blood magic because she understands the risks. How does this apply to Star Wars? Unless you're just talking about how the Jedi Council are not stupid and evil, in which case, by all means, make your argument. Well, see, you say that, Kay, but at the same time, that's exactly what it is. Imagine if the punishment for larceny is portrayed as the exact same punishment for murder. Anyways, I'm going to go with your forgiveness must be asked.
And denied. No, I cannot. Leave me.
Okay, fine. I tried. Moving on. Alright, so. Let's see. What other quests do I have out here? I need to find the droid still. Let's go this way. Okay, real talk for a second. I have to admit that the whole reason that I originally killed her the first time I played this game is because I didn't have the persuade skill. So, I tried, failed, tried, failed, tried, failed, and then gave up.
Achuta.
What do you want? No, you can keep trying forever, okay. But I stopped caring after my 3rd failure. If you're paying attention, I've already failed twice this time around. Runda di Hokunda. Kashi! But, okay, fine. I'll do the quest.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Baluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Calder Netic, Ricard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Netic. Is there any information you require?
Yeah, what'd you find out about the body? Hey, Cord.
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
Can I say something, by the way? I know I've heard a lot of people speak derogatorily about the exact same thing I'm about to praise, but I like the aesthetics of KOTOR. It looks like Star Wars, but not. And I enjoy that.
My preliminary analysis of the
I
body
didn't
is
get
that
that, sorry.
these plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Iriars are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Kath hounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by Kath hounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you... Very well.
As Android. Just my usual English AF. Seltzer water.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Baluk in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
No.
Well, I presume you wish to hear my story, then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Rickard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, when all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead. And I saw Rickard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Rickard so I can get on with my day.
It's a few millennia before the films, to be loose about it.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Ricard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here. Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Is there any other... Very well.
Uh-huh.
Huh? I'm here.
Hakupa Chekopa? Jin. Ronda di hotonga kta kunjus takmiki grabelmogo. Kachichu jedabadwana nidibobo. Tong haitwam jiji jumblumpa. Ni muchashak pakat. Ta kunjus takmiki.
So, what do you...
Oh, okay, here we go. Were you hurt? I was saying, I feel like I missed some dialogue options. Apparently, I literally did.
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious. So, what do you want to know?
Why were you out here?
I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Iriaz. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those Kath hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot. Now, I don't have nothing...
Sorry, hang on.
How can I be for... Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bantha. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that. How can I be I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
You run often around the plains?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say. Of course.
Of course you can, Zion.
Is there any other is there... These planes... There have been over... So far... Is there any...
I feel like I'm not triggering the option I'm looking for here. Oh yeah, it's an AoE, isn't it? I always forget about that. I'm gonna use my mana to heal here really quick.
Run the duck. Jedabado tong height one much.
What am I missing?
Tong height one gigi jum lumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonqualeo gonda kunjus tak miki. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Iking kun muchashak pak.
So, what do you...
There we go.
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. Especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife. You Jedi are so predictable, always seeing some greater purpose behind everything, when the simple answer is usually the right one. Can't you see that it must have been Handon? I found him standing over the damned body. I don't know why this is causing you so much trouble. You almost seem as lost as this Baluk guy. So, well, right.
How can I be of further... I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
I didn't say you killed him. Yet!
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit agitated. Why must we remain here? Can't you see that Rickard must have shot him? How can I be of further assistance? Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard. Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Dantooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him. Of course.
Yeah, no. Lucas... Okay, let's be real. If you're hearing rumors about Lucas wanting to come back to Star Wars, they're probably lies. Here's the funny thing, though. Lucas does want to come back to Star Wars. He's just not going to. No, I'm serious. I can talk about that at length. Remind me to do so after this quest, because there's a lot of talking going on here.
Is there any other... The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Nettic and Mr. Gould. Is there any other information you need?
Of course, Nightingale. Wait, we're playing Revan? Spoilers! Sorry.
According to the municipal authorities near the Garang spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
Sorry, I should give a proper welcome. Welcome to the stream. Don't be a stranger, as I like to tell everyone. You know, I do like chatting and talking and otherwise interacting.
The Southwood Speeder rental business. Is there...
Hang on.
How can I be of further...
Why would you rent a speeder with him?
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in, given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Punch his face in?
My wife was cheating on me with him. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
No. KOTOR is not currently canon, by all accounts.
So, what do you want to know? Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Garang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
You can deny it, but there was bad blood there.
Right.
So, there's that. Currently, KOTOR does not clash with continuity. With the canon. I need to use my terminology correctly. I'm debating, Django, because as pathetic as this may sound, I actually like the BioWare formula. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so bored of the BioWare formula and how dumb and stupid it is. I am not one of those people. As long as they do good stuff with it, I'm fine with the formula. And I liked the BioWare formula. I mean, this right here, this is a dialogue boss. Now, there's not that many dialogue bosses in KOTOR 1, but still, I appreciate and enjoy this kind of stuff. And, I mean, you remember the trial quest back in Neverwinter Nights Vanilla? It was actually one of the better quests back in Neverwinter Nights Vanilla. I'm not done with the quest yet, Zactaf. Patience, man, patience.
Akupa? Kachikun itahaldon runda di hodonga.
Which one's Handon?
Takunjas Takmiki Grabelmogo. Kachi Muchashak.
Okay. The upcoming films haven't really been codified yet, for reference. We don't know much about them, is what I'm trying to say. They are making new films, and that's about all we really know. Let's just be real about that. The BioWare formula? Okay, have you played KOTOR, or Dragon Age Origins, or Mass Effect 1, or arguably Neverwinter Nights? That is the BioWare formula right there in a nutshell. Boop.
How can I be of further assistance?
So, what about this weapon?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it.
Yeah, Jade
I have
Empire.
enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous Cath hounds around. Even an Iriaz can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance? Of course.
And yes, Jade Empire does absolutely qualify.
So, what do you want to know? That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Echani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's. Right, so... Well...
Is there any... I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any other information you need? I am sorry, but I seem
Whoops.
to... Is there any... We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information? Very.
Save in.
How can I be? That hardly even. I wouldn't. How can I?
론더 디호동가 군 헝크 카치 군 이다 무주샷박.
Hey there.
Whoops.
Okay.
Sorry, you look like a droid to me, Mission.
Is there any other information you... I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not Calder's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
How convenient.
Very well.
Kashi.
How can I be?
So. Well, right.
아쿠파 제코파 지노 몰레라케 정 아보 론더 디호동가 론더 디호동가 군 헝크.
Hey, what are you doing?
다 공주스 딱 미끼 그랍을 먹어 같이 주 있다 보동가. 론더 디호동가 군 헝카비 오늘 정 아봉샤 옵니나.
He was also having an affair with Andon's wife.
다 공주스 딱 미끼 그랍을 먹어 같이 주 같이 군 이다 론더 디호동가 군 헝. 통하이트웜 지지 좀 룸바 니타 포에 티키토. Damn you.
Damn both of you.
다 공주스 딱 미끼 그랍을 먹어 같이 주이 같이 구 통하이트웜 지지 좀 룸바 니타 포에 티키토 돌파.
You did good. You might just make a proper Jedi yet. Who knows?
아추타 뭔가 군비스 돌비 기구야.
Now, honestly, that one's a little bit simple, but I do enjoy quests like that. And it's one of the things I miss about BioWare. You know, back when BioWare was amazing. They would go out of their way to try and vary things up at least a little bit, so we'd get little bits like that. So I don't know if you guys know this. I especially don't know if you know this, Actap, because you don't know anything about me whatsoever. But I am moderately acceptably decent at reading people. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the actual moment in which Lucas signed over the rights of Star Wars is a part of public record. There's a video and everything. You can go find it on YouTube if you want to. Lucas, there's something about him. He was very professional and very businesslike about it. I mean, of course he was. He's been in the business for many, many years. But you could almost see them ripping his heart out when he did it. It's all over his eyes. Yeah, the pain is very visible there. Then, we jump forward a little bit to when he unintentionally described them as slavers. You remember that? You know, selling his group into slavery, his child into slavery. You remember that interview that, you know, got a little bit of buzz when it came out? Now, Lucas walked that back immediately. But in the moment, without really thinking about it, he automatically ascribed that to them. These two things are all I need to know about what George Lucas thinks about what happened. In short, of course he wants to go back to Star Wars. Star Wars is his baby. Like, for all the many, 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 many bad things we could say about George Lucas, the man gave a damn about Star Wars from word go. And if you look into the behind-the-scenes... Hi, Death Angel. If you look into the behind-the-scenes of all of the events that trickled into leading to Lucas finally signing away Star Wars, basically the long and the short of it here is that he feels, and I guarantee this with 99% certainty, he feels like he was deceived into signing it away to someone that he thought would caretake his baby, and they're not. At least in his opinion. Whether Disney is actually taking care of it or not, that's up to you to decide. But there is no doubting whatsoever that he does not think they are properly taking care of his baby. The problem here... So, okay, here's the problem. Bob Iger is evil. I want to stress that I don't mean that as an exaggerative. The man is messed up. He has done some incredibly shady stuff in his time. No, I'm not going to give details. Don't answer. Don't ask. You can go look it up yourself if you want to. But the long and the short of it is there was a several-year lead-up into Lucas finally signing away Star Wars, because he himself basically had the exact same... Oh, God, you're right. It's right there. It's only... What the hell is doing that? God damn this game. This is the worst game in the universe. Anyways. Just look at that. Look at it. Look at it. It's the exact same tearing that was happening all the time when we were in the other mode. Why is it doing this? Why? There's no reason for it to be doing that. There's nothing there. It was a several-year trek to convince Lucas to sign away Star Wars. And if you're paying attention to Lucas's career path, you may or may not be aware of the fact that back in the day, he had the exact same emotional reaction in the wake of Return of the Jedi. Now, you're probably thinking, but Return of the Jedi was a success. Not to Lucas. If you remember, he basically was going through a lot of... What the...
Ready.
Really, really dark crap at the time. That's a boss.
Just die already!
You know, with the... He lost his wife, almost lost his adopted child. Lucasfilm was going through a lot of corporate problems.
Down you go!
I don't want to get into all of it. The point is, he was going through a lot of crap. There was also the fallout from Empire Strikes Back as well, which wasn't helping anything. If you're probably thinking, what fallout? Well, he refused to allow him to follow the... He refused to allow the director to follow guild rules with regards to putting director's credit at the beginning of the film. And you might think, well, that's such a minor thing. It is, but it meant he was no longer able to work with the Screenwriters Guild, or of whatever. I forget the actual name of the guild. But it was the guild that most of Hollywood's directors work for. That one tiny problem has led to so many issues with Star Wars that we're probably still feeling the effects of to this very day. I mean, it's debatable, but we are probably still feeling those effects, even now. You guys gonna get up? No, of course you aren't. So, after the fallout of Empire, he had to truncate the creation of episodes 6, 7, 8, and 9 into episode 6. All 4 movies were smashed into one. The long and the short of it is that Lucas was really dissatisfied with Star Wars after Return of the Jedi, and he... Oh, for Christ's sakes. And he basically walked away from Star Wars for a while. In fact, he walked away from everything for a while. He basically went into hiding, and although he was still active in the industry, he did so in a way that most people aren't even aware of it because he wasn't getting credit for most of the things he was doing. In short, the whole incident had depressed him, legitimately actually depressed him so much, that he had to walk away from Star Wars for several years. Yeah, I will. Now, it's also worth noting that Lucas and Lucasfilm were both going through severe financial issues at the time, thanks entirely to a divorce. No, seriously, that is the main reason. It is one of many, many, many reasons I rant against the legality of marriages. And in fact, I talked about that in a recent DS9 episode. And we're out of med packs. Alright. Now, if you're wondering why I'm bringing all this up, I'm just trying to lay a little bit of groundwork to what happened with Iger and Disney. Because basically, in the wake of the prequel films, Lucas was going through the exact same thing. No, seriously, he was depressed, he was emotionally strained, he wanted to walk away from Star Wars for a while, blah, 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 blah. And then, Iger actually convinced him, over the course of years, it's worth noting, in order to go ahead and finally sell Star Wars to Disney. Not because of greed, not because of finances, but because he was in a bad mental and emotional state, and he was, wrongly, convinced that Disney could caretake his baby. So, that's what I mean when I say Lucas wants to come back to Star Wars, because of course he does. Do I have any... I do. Yeah, no kidding, okay. I actually firmly like Episode 3. Episode 3 has some glaring flaws to it, but I unironically think that is a legitimately good film. I can't say the same thing about 1 and 2, admittedly, but whatever. I will, however, say one thing about Episode 1, 2, and 3. No, I take that back. I will say one thing about Episode 2 and 3. Episode 2, which I do think is a bad film, is a film that nevertheless fits with Episode 3 pretty well. Yeah, I see the regen ticking. I just have to go far enough to disengage. Speaking of which, I should figure out the exact spot. Yeah, it's right there. That's what I thought.
You asked for this!
No.
How'd you like that?
I cannot in good conscience say that Episode 1 fits with 2 and 3, though. Having actually sat down and analyzed 1, 2, and 3, I personally think that Episode 1 doesn't fit at all with the rest of the prequels.
Down you go! Oof.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, Armanza, so I'll let you know.
Time to rumble! Down you go!
I can't give my opinion on the sequel trilogy because I can't bring it up without people being a screeching chorus, to be perfectly blunt. But I will say this. We'll see what people think of the sequel trilogy in another decade. Hey look, the tearing's gone. Why is the tearing gone?
What?
Like, I don't want to complain, but why is the tearing gone now? Look at that, it's fine. He was John Big Boot, but you have to understand the difference between making money and making Hollywood money. Movies are ludicrously expensive to make. It's actually kind of stupid. I myself have said before that I think filmmaking is a diamond industry and really should not be the money sink that it is. It's also a self-perpetuating money sink, but that's kind of another topic. My point is that while Lucas was still comfortable and, financially taken care of, he wasn't really in a position to keep doing Star Wars. Not until a few years had passed, the coffers had a chance to recover, everyone had been paid off, and, bit by bit, the EU expanded. If you remember that, the EU expanding also reinvigorated a lot of interest in Star Wars, which I know sounds strange to think about nowadays, reinvigorating interest in Star Wars, but you may or may not remember that Star Wars interest actually waned substantially right up until the Thrawn trilogy came out, and that kind of kicked off the EU. I wonder... God, that is such an awesome feature. The teleport, the town portal thing there. Is it? No, it's not. Well, it's kind of glitching, but only a little now. I will go ahead and admit that while I enjoyed the movies, I didn't actually start to love Star Wars until I got into the books. And the books got me into the games, and by what is effectively coincidence, one of the first Star Wars games I ever played was TIE Fighter. Not X-Wing. TIE Fighter. Yeah, Star Wars Galaxies was much further on. It was after the prequels, I know. I didn't play Rogue Squadron until relatively late, but I did play the N64 Rogue Squadron. I just wasn't all that impressed with it. Yeah, I know. Stand by that statement. It was just kind of eh. Now, the GameCube Rogue Squadrons, those are awesome. I highly recommend anybody who has not played the GameCube Rogue Squadron games picks those up, because that's some fun stuff. And also very mean mission design, if I'm being honest, but, whatever. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Point being, Star Wars interest kind of went up after the EU really started to explode there. If you remember, there was a period of time where it was just book, game, book, and then Episode 1 came out. And Episode 1, I'm sorry, I'm actually getting ahead of myself. Episode 1 basically came out because of the fact that his coffers had restored, interest was reinvigorated. Oh, and there's one other thing that a lot of people don't really attribute properly. They re-released the original trilogy in the theaters. Now, I know a lot of people give a lot of flack to the special editions, and, fair enough. But the actual original intent behind releasing the special edition was not money, and it was not greed, and it was not changing the past. It was... nobody had seen Star Wars in the theaters for a full generation by the time that came out. And remember, above basically all other things, George Lucas is a film geek. And I'm about to die. That's okay, though. I deserve death. I'm actually curious why I'm dying so much, but whatever. The Vader No thing didn't come out until, I believe, the DVD edition. Oh, that's true, I have no armor on.
How'd you like that?
Because this game is dumb. I should just put on armor and say screw it.
Huh?
Why are you shooting? Okay, sure, whatever.
What?
Take that! You'll pay!
Oh, that's the droid. Yeah, no, we did save him. Was it the Blu-ray? I don't remember, to be completely honest with you. I actually am pretty sure I do not own the version that has the no in it. So it might have been the Blu-ray. By the way, there's a lot of dumb changes to the various remasters of Star Wars, but there's only like 3 that actually bother me. That's one of them. No. No. I'm stupid.
Yeah?
Or, I mean, hi.
I'm here.
For God's sakes. Yeah, I'm just gonna put on some freaking armor.
Hey, Karth. You're a pilot for the Republic, right? You've been all over the galaxy, I bet, right? So tell me, how would you rate Taurus compared to other worlds you've seen?
To be honest, Mission, Terrace would rate pretty low. The prejudice, the rich spoiling themselves while the poor are crushed beneath them, it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, but that's only since the Sith occupation. Before that, well, I guess it wasn't all that different, really. Maybe Taurus ain't as great as I thought, you know?
Trust me, Mission, there are a lot of worlds better than Terrace. There are worse, too, but Terrace is no place for a kid to live on her own. Even a kid who's got a Wookiee to look out for.
Hey, I ain't no kid. I look out for Zalbar as much as he looks out for me. Big C's my friend, not my babysitter. Geez, I come ask you a question, you give me a lecture.
Don't you snap at me, Missy. You want a lecture? How's this? Only bratty little children fly off the handle because of a simple comment.
Would you two just chill?
I don't have to listen to you, Karth. You ain't my father, though you're sure old enough to be. So keep your lectures inside your withered old head, 'cause I don't need 'em.
And I sure as hell don't need this. Look, let's just drop it and get back to what we were doing.
I will turn this quest right around, young lady. Anyway, sorry. I was going to say something. Whatever, doesn't matter. Moving on.
Thank you for saving me, Master Jedi. I am C-842, a personal assistant droid.
Why were they attacking you?
Who knows? They are beasts and have been very aggressive of late. I am sorry if I seem a bit abrupt, but I must be moving along. I am rather in a hurry.
Why are you... Okay, are you running from something?
From my master, Elise. Wait, did she send you to find me? Please do not tell her you saw me.
You're running from her?
Yes, but I have my reasons. I'm afraid my owner became a bit too attached to me. Obsessed, even. She tried to treat me as her dead husband. It was not healthy for her.
All the time?
You don't want to know.
Probably not.
She is obsessed. She rarely sees other people and appears to be fixated on me as her husband. She was becoming more and more insular. I thought it best that I leave. She may meet other real people this way. In fact, that was the reason I came here and sought out those cat hounds.
Yes, that's right. He was attempting suicide.
I think it would be best if I were no longer a factor. She would meet new people. Living people, please. Will you destroy me?
I'll destroy you and tell her you're still out here!
What? No. You'd make her suffer like that? You monster!
Sorry, no, I'm not actually doing that. Just your recent reminder that the dark side options are just ridiculous in this game.
What?
Because then she comes out here and also dies. It's actually even worse than that, because not only does she come out and die, but she comes out on the flimsiest of false hopes, and then dies. And it is a false hope, which is horrifically, toxically poisonous to begin with. So that's probably the most cruel thing you could possibly do here.
Thank you for...
So, hang on.
She is obsessed. She was, in fact, please.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Tesla is a Sith, just so everyone knows. What would you do here? Other than 3. Let's just presume option 3 isn't an option. There's no cruelty option here. You can destroy him and be truthful with her, or you can force him to go back. Now, here's an interesting thought. We actually talked about this a lot during the lore run, too. But I love how there's not actually a good choice here. Shut up, Django. There's no actual good choice here. Because you might think, well, this is really bad for her, right? Yeah, but historically speaking, things that are really bad for you, that are then cut off cold turkey, that usually doesn't end up well. I mean, honestly, if you just sort of rip someone off of the support line, so to speak, I mean, that can cause some issues. And get him a new arm, Dream Whisperer? I like that idea. Is this droid an example of droid effect? Oh. Too little information to judge. Droid effect doesn't happen overnight, after all. That's part of why it's droid effect. Listen, he must die. It's the only option. Because this is early BioWare. So I'm going to do what I usually don't do.
But why?
You're her property, and must obey her.
You're right. How could I be so selfish? I must not think only of myself, but of how it affects her. She must be frantic, and if she lost me, she'd be devastated. I must return then. It is my duty.
That is true, Shadow Machine. Although we don't know that walking in. See you around, Snufflegrunt. I don't need any crystals from this cave. These crystals suck. So, actually, hang on, can I just do this here? I can. Where are we at? I need to get some frickin' Jedi robes. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna turn him into a melee, whatever. Nope, no cheating. Can't do it. Yeah, pretty soon I'll be drowning in robes and crystals. That's why I'm not really too worried about it. And I'll have my pick of the litter, so to speak.
What?
Who doesn't like Dantooine? No, I do like Dantooine, but it's almost entirely because of the quests. And the music, I'll admit. It's true, there's no sand here.
This is private property. My orders are clear.
Okay, just sneak on in here. Ah! Okay, fine. We won't do that quest. No, I haven't bought anything yet, Loner. No, that was the previous droid, Tesla, was the Scandal droid. Okay, did I do... I suppose I should go finish off Juhani. General Grievous is an awesome character in my head and nowhere else. He is a pathetic, cartoony idiot who barely accomplishes anything of any success whatsoever, except by raw brute force, and even then he sucks.
do not know what to do. It is. Leave me. I do not know. It is.
I'm just curious as
I
something.
do not know what it is. I do not know it. I do not. It. I do not. Leave. I do not know it. I do not. I do not know it.
I wish there was a way I could see the rolls that are happening. How do you check the rolls? Because I'm actually quite curious of something. Ah, there we go. Don't see any rolls here. That's interesting. I mean, I showed combat rolls against the Kath Hound, but that was a bit ago. Basically, I'm curious if I'm rolling at all here. That's basically what it's going down to. Because even with a persuade skill, in a hypothetical situation, even with a persuade skill of 0, it should be possible to succeed at this. Where the hell is my dice? Whatever. Because eventually you're going to roll a 15 or whatever, right? On the dice. So hypothetically, there should be a roll happening here. But I'm not sure if there is.
I do not know it. I do not know.
Like, this is a lot of fails in a roll here.
I do not. I do not know what it is.
That's true. If the DC is over 20, then it would be impossible. And it could be a D6. I don't know. This is part of the reason I wanted to see the actual roll, because I think it would be fascinating to figure out how this works. But apparently, is there a console command to pull up the rolls? Because I could do that. I have the console enabled. Yeah, Persuade is overpowered, which is actually exactly why I'm not doing it. So, no, the part of the reason I ask is different games do different approaches to doing skill checks. Some games do a thing where, for example, there is no actual roll, there's just a check. Oh, you have a Persuade of 3. Okay, you win. Some games do it where it's fairly linear, flat out D&D. You roll a D20 plus 3, and that's your result, and you have to beat a DC. I don't know what this game does, and that's part of why I was doing this. I was actually trying to figure out what it does, but apparently I can't see the roll, so whatever. And yeah, the DC could be, at this point, it could be 22 or higher, and I would not actually have the ability to succeed. It's mathematically impossible. It could also lock in a roll. That's also possible. So I could have rolled a 3 the first time, and I'm basically just always rolling a 3. I don't know. Again, this is why I wanted to check the actual rolls. It's a damn shame the game won't let me do that, but whatever.
If I show them, maybe. Do you think they? I think I will. If
blah 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 blah. Thank you very much, the Blackout. Very much obliged and appreciate the sub. Thank you. And if you happen to know where you want to put that, please let me know, and I will jot that down. By the way, you're probably wondering why I skipped through that so irritatedly, because the correct answer, and I knew this, is you should rid yourself of base passions, which I extremely don't agree with. And it actually irritates me that I have to actually, do that in order to succeed. Whatever. Actually, I did Shadow Machine. My biggest disappointment is that game's probably not going to be coming out for a year or so. See, it's funny because some games absolutely allow you to do that, Uthor, but only in certain circumstances where they allow a multiple check scenario. See, here's the weird thing. I don't think they should do a lock-in system in KOTOR because, with very few exceptions, you can't actually recheck. You can't do a check again. Juhani, you're allowed to do it over and over because the game expects you to have her join your party. But in most cases, you do the check, and if you fail, the game moves on in a failed state, right? You just have failed. You're done. You don't get a recheck. It doesn't actually matter at this point. Like I said, I was just curious. The Blackout. 0-0. The Last of Us 2. No, Grievous didn't kill the Night Sisters. A few dozen thousand droids killed the Night Sisters. And frankly, Grievous was kind of a chump in that fight, as I talked about in my video about that. One moment. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Just give me a second. I need to expand this just a little bit. There we go. Did that fix it? That fixed it. We're good. I was 1 pixel offset there, and I wanted to fix it. Yeah, no kidding, Shadow Machine. So this Thursday is D&D, just for reference. Are you going to be there for next Thursday, Shadow Machine? Favorite quest at this... in this whole game? God, I don't know. There's actually a lot of quests I really like. I suppose my favorite quest is the Trial in Manon. That's just the one that comes to the top of my head immediately. RNG is one of those interesting things to debate when it comes to game design, Huthor. Because everyone has a different opinion on it. Like, everyone does. Awesome, Shadow Machine. So we should... Hopefully you'll be there for board game night then, because we are going to be doing board games then. We're going to be cutting off earlier than usual, because both Guido and I basically can't do the late night thing anymore. So we're only going to have like an hour and a half to play, FYI. And that's just going to be the way it is going forward. Must fill out map. Anyway, so... hang on a second. So I did that and I did... Where's the... But yeah, long and the short of it is, as much as I'd like to just, work more, I already stream 48 hours a week. I'm running dry, damn it. I don't have infinite energy. I'm still working on that. Need to get that fission thing working, or fusion thing. Maybe it is fission, I don't know. Well, that does lock us out of some games, Bragan. Although we could just do what a lot of people do and just take breaks in the middle of a game. I mean, Tabletop has the save feature. And I do kind of want to continue several of the campaigns we have going on. Probably the clones, Zach Taft, because the clones were competent and amazing and awesome. I know that one, Permeus. So let's see how this worked out.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I don't know what I would have done if I had lost him.
It's
just so great to have him back. We're just gonna go right home, right now, and celebrate. Aren't we, my lovely little droid? Don't worry. I'm gonna hug you and oil you and care for you and make sure you never, ever get away again.
I didn't kill all the Mandalorians, did I?
Have you found the Mandalorians? Good. Good. Put them down like the animals they are. But now that you've killed some of them, they won't stop until you've defeated their leader. You must find him and kill him too. Thank you.
Well, admittedly, I tend to prefer a skill system where there's no actual dice roll myself. Basically, this check, for those of you, I mean, Huthor gets this automatically, but for those of you who don't, the idea is, let's say the check difficulty is 3. You have a persuade skill of 3. You succeed. The end, right? Like, you have the skill to succeed at this task.
Hello. I'm afraid I'm not very good at explaining things.
Greetings, friend. I think I can safely assume you are a member of the Jedi Order. Has the Council agreed to hear our petition?
Yes, of course. Please tell me everything. I'm going to be doing Korriban last, by the way. At least after the Leviathan. Also, I think this is Ethan Phillips. Ethan Phillips actually has a lot of roles in this game, funnily enough. He's like 5 or 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was mistaken. Does the council require our presence?
So I know a lot of people don't like Neelix, and I understand why. I am not one of those people, but I think a lot of why I don't dislike Neelix is because of Ethan Phillips, because he's actually a pretty good actor, and he's a very good voice actor, and he's just criminally misused most of the time. I kind of wish he did more voice work, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, I see. I am mistaken. How may I be of assistance? My name is Gar. Me and my fine wife, Rilke, here...
A pleasure.
...live on one of the northern farms. But the Kath Hounds and the Mandalorian problem has been getting really bad of late, and we're here to ask the Jedi Council to help.
Kath Hounds?
Recently, the Kath Hounds have been acting much more aggressively. They've even attacked some of the settlers. Those Mandalorian raiders have been milking the outlying farms dry, too. I hear John got it really bad. Too bad about his daughter.
He should have been protecting her better if he wanted to keep her.
Mandalorian beast. Some of us don't like fighting and killing and butchering as much as you. I'm not sure exactly what the council will do about it, but we need some help with this. I only hope they'll listen to me. Is there anything else you require? Ever since the Republic beat them years ago, little groups have been roaming all over the place.
They're pathetic. They're taking scraps when they should be taking worlds.
With the Sith invasion, the Republic doesn't have the manpower to hunt them down. The Jedi are even worse off because Malak has been hunting them specifically. They're worried that he might even be supporting these raiders, so I don't want to face them directly. That puts us in a kind of hard situation. Is there anything else I can help you with? Farewell, then.
I don't know off the top of my head, Tesla. Ethan Phillips is the only one I was aware of. The reason most people dislike Neelix is because he was written terribly. Let's just lay that out there. I myself, if you'll remember during my Voyager ruminations, constantly was aggravated by the "he's a bad cook, isn't it funny?" joke that they constantly hammered on over and over and over again. They wouldn't shut up about that. That was mostly Season 2. Also, in my opinion, the worst season by far of Voyager. Season 1 wasn't actually that bad. It was a little trite, but it wasn't that bad. Season 2, though, ugh. I actually know, let's see, 3 people personally who quit Voyager because of Season 2. I know, right, okay. Love you, Voyager, but you piss me off so bad. Why would you want a faster run speed, Lord Harrimont? I'd run with both arms, but there's no auto-run button in this game, so I have to hold down up with my left hand in order to move. What the...
This is what I knew. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I could actually haste right now, but... Oh no, Republic troopers aren't stupid. In fact, they're actually reasonably competent. In fact, if anything, and I've talked about this before during the lore run, it says a whole lot about the nature of how pathetic Malak is, that with a ridiculous advantage in manpower and materials, he's still not really winning the war.
Just die already!
Like, the fact that the Republic is actually holding the line with the massive disadvantages they have says a lot, I think. I just think the clones are kind of one of the best militaries the entire franchise has ever seen. I'll admit a lot of that is influenced by the shows, but shrug.
Oh! Just die already!
Here it is!
Yeah, it's exactly my point, Nami. How do you prefer to be pronounced, by the way? I was looking at that earlier because I was putting you in under... you had given a donation that you wanted to put me towards whatever. And I saw the name, I was like, God, I don't know how to pronounce that.
This is gonna be fun. Here it is!
That's true. Even in the films, the clones were competent. It's like a recurring trend. It's actually funny in its own way because the clones are consistently portrayed as competent, and stormtroopers are consistently portrayed as pathetic. Especially in the AU, where we've added the whole, 3 weeks of training thing. I don't really have one build. I tend to lean towards Death Angel. Although I do lean on melee, I'll freely admit that. So for those of you who don't remember how this works, let me pull this up really quick here. Oh, wow. Is the blur gone? There should be blur here. There's no blur. Holy crap. Oh, right, I turned off buffer effects and the soft shadows thing. Thank God that's an option, because otherwise that blur would absolutely be a negative. I hate forced blur. Well, whatever, I don't know how to spawn the other Mandalorians, and I don't know how to start the other quests. I think we have to go finish the Juhani thing first, so let's go do that really quick. Okay, now we got the Lara Croft thing going on.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
I already killed the 3 groups, though.
I'm sorry for the way I acted before. It's just that when it comes to Lena, I tend to get a little worked up.
Why do you hate her so much?
My brother and me had a good thing going. Sure, Griff had his run-ins with the law on Terrace, but we got by okay, until Lena came and ruined everything. She was a dancer at the cantina where my brother used to go play Pazik. Griff could be a real smooth talker, and it wasn't long before the two of them were dating. But Lena was used to dating rich Teresian nobles, guys with mountains of credits. Griff could never give her the lifestyle she was used to, no matter how hard he worked.
You mean no matter how much he... Did Lena dump him?
I thought Lena would brush Griff off when she saw how poor he was, but for some reason, she stuck around. I guess she saw the potential for a big payday down the road.
She stuck around for Myron.
I saw Lena for what she really was, a busty, credit-grubbing cantina rat. She used Griff and took away the only family I had. After they'd been together for a few months, Griff told me he was leaving Terrace. He and Lena were going to try and make their fortune off-world. He promised as soon as he made enough credits he'd come back and get me, and we'd all live like royalty. That was 2 years ago. I haven't seen him since. I don't even know where he went.
Don't worry. This is a BioWare game. We will always conclude our companions' long-term quests. I mean, finding a single sword in the middle of Dragon Age. Thank you very much, Myron. Much obliged the sub, sir. Thank you. And welcome to the 2-year club. My goodness, Myron, you've been supporting me for 2 years. You are awesome. Thank you, sir, very, very much. Now, I don't know if you know this, but whenever someone crosses a year line, I go ahead and make that donation worth more. So if you want to put that towards something, let me know and keep that into consideration.
Oh, I know what happened. As soon as she got him off Taurus, Lena sunk her claws into Griff butt good. She twisted him around her little finger and made him forget all about me. I know I'll probably never see Griff again. But part of the reason I came with you was to hope that I could find out what happened to my brother. Don't worry. I won't let the search for Griff get in the way of what we're doing. Let's just get back to the task at hand. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nope.
Okay.
Do you have any clothes? Okay, let's see if we can get them to spawn, because I don't think I checked the Juhani spot after I didn't kill her. By the way, can I just say this should be the normal run speed? What do you guys think? Confirm, deny? Agree, disagree? Like, this should be default right here. Well, this isn't full haste speed. There's actually a haste... This is only night speed. We don't have master speed yet. The books? No, I am Echo. I only played the game. Well, I don't have any Jedi robes, Nymph, so... I'll probably put on some Sith robes as soon as I find them. I always do look good in black. I should just put on this. This is why I'm wearing armor, by the way. You notice that fight put me to half health. I suppose I could check. This button, I think? No, this button? There we go. That's not the button. Powers. It's not going to tell me. Whatever. I don't care. Whoa, hi. Funnily enough, I actually have one too, Nightingale. I wore it for the Babylon 5 ruminations. For half of them. I've saved lately, so let's do that. There they are. Thank you, Django. No, I'm not going to force heal. I can do this. I don't think I knew about that. The free heal, teleport back option. At least I've forgotten about it if I knew about it.
Ah, so this is the meddler. You have caused us far too much trouble for a mere Jedi.
Now this is what I've been waiting for.
I will add your head to those of the other Jedi I have killed, and take yet another lightsaber for my own. Now you will know why the Mandalorians are feared.
I even like their outfits, even though they're kind of stupid looking. The helmets, I mean. God dang it.
Yeah?
I was trying to put on the melee shield, but it was being dumb.
That'll show you.
Do it, I am Echo. Do it! Hang on, let's reload. Let's just undo. I am on uneasy, yes. This is easy diff. So let's get rid of this, first of all. Get this queued up on the right thing. This one, Zack Taft. Easy answer. Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking about Tor. Sorry, Tor. New answer. And she's down. Oh my god, this stupid thing.
That'll show you.
Okay, take 2, 3, 8, whatever we're up to. I'm level 10, Dream Whisperer. In fact, I'm level 8 too, so I actually managed to stay level 2 all the way through, whatchafig. We are on easy still, right? Yep, no, we're on easy. Alright, new plan.
Ah.
I'll show you.
This is gonna be fun.
What?
Here it is.
Kind of relying on those two to kill the rest of the group. Hopefully they can do that without me. But pulling the boss out of the equation is going to make this a lot easier. Because he's the one that hurts.
Take that! You'll never get me!
You'll never kill me! Hey, Chloe Light, what's up? Let's just call this tanking with quote-unquotes around it. Whoop. I didn't see the rock there. That's my fault. Oh, he might retarget. Ah, he retargeted. Crap, crap, crap. Okay.
Die!
Whoop. Time to run.
You're dead.
There we go. Nothing left but him. You got this, guys.
Here it is!
And yeah, that totally helped Django in the previous attempts. I mean, I used to tank as a warlock. For real. And it basically involved dropping a whole lot of dots on a guy, sacrificing the pet, and burning the, you run faster while burning your health thing and getting the hell out of dodge. And just running as far as you possibly can. I've done that a druid, too. A feral druid, not a tank druid. I've also played EverQuest, Necromancer. Although, usually, Necromancers are more about summoning all your pets on something, sitting down, and then letting your pets slowly kill the enemy over the process of, like, 8,000 years. God, I hated EverQuest. Why did I ever play that game? Yes, this is how Revan won the war. Come on, guys. Hey, some lightsabers. Excellent. It's gonna lower my attack thing, but who gives a damn? I was gonna do this anyways. I should probably... What else did I loot? I don't even see. Yeah, I'll keep that. I mean, Fabian tactics are a real thing. For those of you not aware, Fabian tactics are kind of what I just did on a grand scale. The whole idea is to never engage in a battle your enemy decides. Instead, to always engage them in battles of your choosing, and to go out of your way to stay away from the battles, away from the enemy forces whenever you're not completely superior. And just kind of nibble away at their, any forces of theirs that fall behind, or chop away at their supply lines, that kind of a thing.
That'll show you.
Just die already!
Now.
This is gonna be fun.
It's a form of guerrilla tactics, but It's more of a guerrilla tactics when you're leading a massive army, rather than guerrilla tactics when you're 20 people in the woods, kind of a deal. Yes, Fabian is the reason it's called Fabian Tactics, for those of you not aware. What's up, Mukul?
Die!
Because then we miss out on all this sweet experience, and I keep forgetting that it's a thing. Oh my god, it's amazing, Mukul! Are you okay? Are you feeling alright? Do you need to lay down? Everyone, we need to get a hyper spray on Mukul, like right now. Which two, Mukul, if you don't mind my asking? So I actually became aware of Fabian tactics thanks to studying the American Revolutionary War, believe it or not. George Washington used them extensively in his conflict.
Now those Mandalorians know what it's like to be hunted, but now that you've killed some of them, they won't stop until you've defeated their leader. You must find him and kill him too.
Oh, grats, Mukul.
Thank you, young master. My daughter can now, I think, rest in peace. Here is the reward I promised you.
No need for a reward.
No, please take it. This pitiful amount will never be enough for what you have done for me. Again, I thank you. I will be sure to tell the council of your great deed.
Thanks. Light side points gained? What the hell? For what? Killing someone in vengeance? I don't know. Whatever. I guess that's true. I did deny the money, and then they gave it to me anyways for some friggin' reason. Take the money! Take it! Killing people is the only way. What the? Okay, whatever. Hey, Juhani.
I must give you my thanks. Because of you, I am once again welcome within the Jedi Order.
Yeah, I know. She's actually not. You didn't actually kill anyone.
Quatra's injuries were not so severe as I first believed. I was foolish to believe I could harm a master such as she with my clumsy efforts. The fierce confrontation between us was nothing more than part of my training. Quatra wanted me to understand the threat of the dark side, to see how easy it was to fall from the path of light.
I feel like I've said this so many times, I'm just a record right now, so, Jedi Council equal dumb. Moving on.
Quatra's methods may seem strange, but I trust her wisdom. This lesson has been difficult, but I am better because of it. Humility is never easy to teach, but now I truly understand my own limitations.
You can't expect to get everything handed to you on a silver platter.
After our last battle, Quatra had nothing left to teach me. I needed time alone to explore the turmoil of my own spirit. Only then was I ready to follow a guide. You. Back to the light. When I left, Quatra knew her work with me was done. There are other disciples who need training throughout the galaxy, and she could not stay to see if I passed this most difficult trial. With your help, I have passed this difficult trial. The Council now feels I am ready to continue with my training, though they have asked me to wait here for the time being.
Hey, I'm glad to see you're not getting hung up on all this. The past is in the past, you know?
Giving you a second chance like this is a clear sign of weakness. Sometimes I find it hard to believe the Jedi could defeat my people in battle.
I do not know what the Council has in store for me, but I will trust in the Force and the way of the Jedi to help me through whatever is to come.
Oakley dokley, neighborino. Well, you see, Dream Whisper, it's because they're very stupid. I don't know. I did your stupid test.
If you have questions, you should direct...
Not you.
Greetings, young apprentice. As a chronic, the man...
Blah, 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 blah. Revan says that in lore. Blah, 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 and then just leaves.
You have done well, my pupil. The ancient grove has been purified, and Juhani's journey down the dark path has been halted. Because of you, she walks once more in the light. But though she was saved, do not dismiss what happened to her. Juhani is both dedicated and true to the ideals of the Order, yet she was still vulnerable to the dark side, as are we all. She struck her master in anger during her training and injured her greatly. But it was Quatra's choice to test Juhani this way, and it seems to have made its point. Juhani has been redeemed, and you have passed your final test. Congratulations, apprentice. Or should I say, congratulations, Padawan. You have proven yourself worthy of joining the Jedi. Let me be the first to welcome you as a full-fledged member of our order.
Thanks. You know one thing I do actually like, as weird as this may sound? No matter how light or dark you are, it doesn't actually change anything. What I mean by that is if you are full dark side, you're not locked into the dark side ending. And if you're full light side, you're not locked into the light side ending. You can choose, regardless. And I actually do like that. Even a full dark side Revan might see the value in destroying the Starforge and rescuing the Republic. And even a full light side might decide, you know what, I need this power for myself. That actually makes sense to me.
I must congratulate you on your actions. You have saved Juhani and brought her back into the Order, and have given us all great hope for your future success. May the Force be with you as you continue your training.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignite this lightsaber right in your face.
Greetings, young Pado. As the man...
It is good to see Juhani has returned to the way of the light. You are to be commended for your role in this. Your actions give us great hope for the future. Your training is now complete, Padawan. And perhaps now, it is time we dealt with the matter of the dream you and Bastila shared. When we heard of the ruins in your dreams, Master Dorak recognized it as one of a series of ancient structures here on Dantooine. This one in particular lies to the east of this enclave. We sent a Jedi to investigate, but he has not returned. Perhaps sending him in the first place was a mistake. The Force is guiding you through your visions. It may be that exploring the ruins is a task tied to your destiny. That is why the Council has now decided you should be the one to investigate this. The secrets to stopping Malak may be hidden within those ruins. You must investigate them and find what Revan and Malak were looking for.
Well, okay. But only because of Gillian. No other reason. Anyways, Mukul, I don't know, it feels weird. I have, after all, never reviewed this game before. I'm going to have to decide how I'm going to split up positives for something. In fact, I'm going to look to you guys for some assistance in that one, because I'm not sure how I'm going to distinguish it. Thank you very, very much, Gillian. Very much obliged to the sub, as always. Thank you. And I have put that towards VTMB1. Myron, I can't help but notice, you haven't put it towards anything. Guys, I need everyone to stab Myron infinitely. Just keep stabbing until he answers the question.
Be sure to bring Bastila with you. There is a powerful link between you, and you will need to draw strength from each other during the trials ahead.
Also stab Revan Stig for refusing.
I demand justice! The Sandral family is a blight upon Dantooine. They must be punished.
The Council will look into this matter, Mr. Matale. You must be patient. Your accusations have no proof, and we do not want you stirring up trouble with the Sandrals. If there is some mistake...
Mistake? My son Shen is missing! How can there be any doubt the Sandrals are to blame?
There are other possible explanations for your son's disappearance.
Ah, you Jedi are good for nothing but talk. I shall only wait so long before I take action on my own.
As dangerous as the threat from Darth Malak and the Sith may be, we Jedi cannot simply abandon our other responsibilities. The Council has promised Alan Matale we will look into his son's disappearance. Should you have time, Padawan, you may want to investigate this matter.
Of course.
If Shen Matale is not returned to his father, it may ignite a savage and bloody feud between the Matale and Sandral estates. They must not allow that to happen.
Your study and training are important, of course. But the Jedi are not a cloistered order. Our influence and teachings must spread beyond the walls of our academies.
It is in the real world that we truly prove ourselves worthy of the title Jedi. You would do well to remember this, young Padawan.
The task has its own importance. It may also serve to divert our minds for a short time. Something which carries its own rewards.
Oh, come on, guys. Sigh. So I just got a donation from Vigilant, who for some reason insists that Malak is a true Sith, which I don't agree with. That is true, Vigilant, though. You are absolutely correct on that. However, I refuse to put that money towards Empire at War. So if you want to put it towards something else, that's okay. But I will not put that towards Empire at War. And you know me well enough to know why I'm saying that. Which also means you haven't checked the website lately. Now, let me explain what I mean by that a little bit. Most of the Sith, and even Sith who aren't stupid Sith, have a tendency to not actually adhere to the code. Actually, Vigilant gave several examples of this, of like Sidious, for example, who poisoned his master and killed his master in his sleep, or Plagueis, who let his master die while he was being, the whole Brock thing. But I stand by my statement that just shows that those people were not following the Sith code in those moments. Whether that makes them true Sith or not is a more matter of debate, but the Sith code is about strength, of which there are many different types. But if the only way you can seize power is by striking your master in a moment of weakness, while you happen to have a circumstantial event to go in your favor, then that's not following the Sith code. You may or may not call that smart or weak or cowardly or stupid or dumb or smart or whatever, but it is not following the Sith code, in my opinion. Now, the Sith code has its own problems, but it is still something that's far more about the proper application of strength and ability. In short, if Malak really wanted to become the Dark Lord of the Sith, according to Sith code, what he should have done is walked up to Revan and said, "I challenge you," and then tried to beat him, and then failed, because Revan would have wrecked him, but, whatever. Actually, interestingly enough, I do kind of think that Malak could beat Revan in a one-on-one fight, which is even funnier when you think about it. It wouldn't exactly be a guarantee, but I do actually think that would work. Allow me to share a quote that Sci-Fi Debris said, which I really like. The nature of how the Sith tend to apply themselves, at best, would eventually lead to one supremely powerful Sith sitting on an entire empire of corpses. Because they follow the whole, rule of the fittest thing to a bit of an extreme, which is the problem, actually. And that is indeed one of the biggest problems with the rule of two. But let's not get into that either. Either way, thank you for the support, Vigilant. Towards something? Yeah, Malak is a meat. He's a meat dude. Bam, bam, bam. I suppose I could call him a berserker. That's not an invalid terminology. And I do think Malak would have lost to some of the versions of Vader. But I will actually admit that that's still not a guaranteed thing. Nothing is, really.
Take that!
Yeah, Malak's a Garrosh. That's actually a really good way to put it. Because Garrosh is actually a pretty good fighter in a one-on-one beat-stick battle. He's stupid, doesn't really know how to adapt to the circumstances, and, has no real cunning to him. But in a straight one-on-one shot, Garrosh could beat a lot of people in a fight. And has. Now, if he's going up against someone with real skill, he'll lose every time. Cough, cough, Cairn Bloodhoof. Yeah, Revan did take Malak's jaw. That's certainly true. Yeah, Varian was also winning against Garrosh. That's also true. 2 examples of people who were technically weaker warriors who were just completely outskilling him. So there's the Rakata language. Spoilers.
I think the droid is trying to communicate with us by cycling through a variety of languages. Each time it spoke, it was using a very different alien dialect. The droid can probably understand us. The only problem is it may not have been programmed with the phonemes of a language we can understand.
Hey, I understood that one.
I recognize this language as well. It's an archaic variant of the Selkath dialect spoken on Manaan. But why would a droid on Dantooine be programmed to speak ancient Selkath?
Construction was vital to ensure the slaves constructed the temple according to the wishes of the builders. But you are not the slave species, nor are you the builders. You are like the ones who came before.
It must be referring to Revan. The Dark Lord and Malak likely encountered this droid when they explored these ruins.
Alright, so Dragon Age Origins. That I can do. Thank you again, Vigilant. I am the Overseer. The builders programmed me to enforce discipline amongst the slaves while this monument to the power of the Starforge was constructed. At project completion, all slaves were executed. I was programmed to serve should a builder return in search of knowledge of the Starforge. Nice people, by the way. Chronological circuits have marked 10 revolutions of this system's outermost planet around the sun since the builders left.
10 revolutions would take more than 20,000 years. If this is true, then this droid is nearly 5,000 years older than the Republic itself. There must be some mistake.
There is no mistake. The builders constructed my chronological circuitry using the technology of the Starforge itself. My calculations are infallible. The builders are the great masters of the galaxy, the conquerors of all worlds, the rulers of the infinite empire, and the creators of the Starforge.
They must have been an extinct people. Though it is strange, there's no record of their existence. Even the archives of the Jedi Academy make no mention of them. In the years before the Republic, the Hutts were a dominant force in the galaxy, but they never constructed an empire. In fact, I know of no species that would fit with this information.
Dun dun dun, I think, is what we're supposed to say here. It could refer to the Sith, like the original Sith. I know nothing of these Sith. They are not the builders. The builders are the builders. The empire of the builders is infinite and everlasting. None can stand against their might and the power of the Starforge. Have you seen a builder recently? I have been here since the completion of this monument. In all this time, no builder has returned to seek information on the Starforge. So what's the Starforge? Glory, billions, they're super amazing. It is the apex of their thing.
Obviously not programmed with the knowledge we seek. The Starforge sounds like some type of weapon, perhaps. Though in fact, it could be anything.
It could be the best super weapon in the history of Star Wars. I actually do mean that sincerely, by the way.
Maybe. That might explain how the Sith were able to amass a fleet so quickly. But I suspect the Starforge is more powerful than a mere factory. Maybe the droid has more information we can use. It seems to respond to you. Perhaps you should ask it something else.
Tell me about Revan and Malak. They were not builders, but not slaves. They discovered the secrets of the Starforge. There was another who failed, and he paid the ultimate price.
About poor Nemo. The Council sent him here to investigate, and it cost him his life.
The Death Star is stupid. No, the Starforge is my personal favorite superweapon, and I do think the most useful superweapon in the entire franchise. My opinion. I've actually been amused lately. More and more people have been disagreeing with me on that, which I find interesting. Because a lot of people think, well, it's more useful to be able to destroy a planet, and the fear that that will engender, than to, you know, make things. Basically, infinitely. Did you kill the Jedi? Nope. How do I prove myself worthy?
Revan and Malak unlocked the sealed door and uncovered the secrets of the Starforge. Now Malik is using the Starforge to fuel his conquest of the Republic. We have to find out what they uncovered. We have to find a way to unseal these doors to learn more about the Starforge. The Republic is depending on us.
I don't even know how to answer that question, Sacktaff. What about the Death Star is not stupid, including its name? While I'm on the subject. Oh, goody! My state tax return is accepted. That's excellent news. It means I just got to pay $2,000. Yay! Taxes. Whoa. I should probably save. No. I'm just curious if line of sight does anything. Apparently not. I didn't think the game actually had a factor for line of sight, but there we are. No.
There, take that.
Well, I would, but I'm frozen in carbonite right now. It's also possible those pillars just aren't programmed with line of sight. Totally switching to swords. Definitely doing it. Although I just noticed, why does she have no equipment on?
There. Yeah? What can I do?
Now.
I don't know, but I don't think I have aggro right now. Nope, nope, I do. So let's see what happens here. That doesn't look like it's aggro. Whatever. Oh yeah, I should probably level her while I'm thinking about it. More dexterity. Infinite dexterity. Sure.
You cannot win.
Yeah, I think you're right, Maxis Corbin. I mean, I could switch to swords if I was using a walkthrough. Like, in all sincerity, what possible logic would there be in to discontinue using a lightsaber in a game like this? While playing a Jedi, while I'm on the subject. Now you say it has energy resistance. Okay, what indicates that? Actually, I suppose the log might indicate that because it shows combat stuff. Does it show that? I actually don't see anything about energy resistance. Not that I disbelieve you, Django, I don't see it on the log. Yeah, the log's kind of crap if we're just being honest with ourselves. That's what I thought. Kick the computer. You kick the computer, your foot hurts. I keep kicking it. I keep kicking it. Okay. I'm done. Hello, computer. There we go. Identify the 3 primary death-giving seed world types. Obviously barren, volcanic, and oceanic. Hang on, so that would be oceanic. Wait, what? Oh, it said death world. God damn it. Not that I know anything about this, but I am kind of in a hurry here.
Take that!
Yeah, honestly, absence of information is not something I'm impressed by, but I think that's more a lack of a positive than a negative. You'll notice I have not given this game any kind of interface, HUD, or UI pusses, and I don't plan to. So I have Death Worlds, Volcanic, and Barren. One of the things I love most about the Infinite Empire is that it was, what, like 5 star systems that they controlled? I don't know, I never actually had a manual for this. The copy of KOTOR I got was a used copy, so it didn't even have a box, it was just a CD. I still have, actually.
Huh? I'm here. What?
No, don't talk. I'm not saying that there isn't a manual, I'm saying I never had a manual. Yeah, I remember Baldur's Gate 2, I had that problem. Because I didn't actually know D&D that well during Baldur's Gate 2. And I remember getting stuck on something, I don't remember what it was. And I mentioned it to a friend, and he was like, well, what kind of damage type are you using? Such and such. Yeah, switch damage types. Oh. Okay. Life-giving, oceanic, grassland, arboreal. Is that the RTS, Nightingale? Because in which case the answer is yes, although only briefly. God, the Rakatans were so stupid. Sorry, just, it's funny to think about, with the advantage of hindsight. Oh, in that case, no, Nightingale, I have not. It's a map of stars, I think.
This must be what Revan and Malak found when they entered this temple. This must be where their journey down the dark side began.
But what is it?
This is a map. Some sort of intergalactic navigational chart. Revan and Malak must have used this to lead them to the Starforge. We could use this map to follow their path and find the Starforge ourselves. But we must be wary. They may have laid traps or concealed what they found.
So what is it?
I don't know. but Revan and Malik were very interested in finding it. It must be a tool of some type, or maybe a weapon. Perhaps the Council can tell us more, but I think this map might be the key to finding the Starforge, whatever it is. See this world here? This looks like Korriban, a Sith world. And if that's Korriban, then this is Kashyyyk, and Tatooine, and here's Manaan. But there are pieces missing. Incomplete hyperspace coordinates, corrupted data, and there doesn't seem to be anything indicating where the Starforge itself might be.
That's weird, Maxis Corvin. One of the oldest tips I remember is maxing out droid kill, whatever the power is, if you're going Force Mage, because, you know, there's so many droids in the game, including in the final dungeon. Ugh.
I was thinking that too. This map can't take us to the Starforge, but I know that Revan and Malik visited Korriban at least once. Perhaps they discovered something more there. They may have found something on each of the other worlds that completed this map. Maybe if we find all the pieces, they'll lead us to the Starforge, and some way to destroy it. We must inform the Council of what we've discovered. They must decide our next course of action, though I suspect our task has only just begun.
I agree. So that to me sounds like a character I just don't care about at all, Disco. A character I really don't care about. Nemo. Hey, a robe. It's better than nothing. I feel like there is a character I don't care about at all, and I don't remember who it is. Oh my god, my party's right here. Let's go. Jesus. Come on. Oh, I don't have the lightsaber. Note to self, re-equip my lightsabers. I don't remember any of them, Zactaff, but I probably did. Let's go ahead and recover here really quick. Let's go do the Romeo and Juliet quest really quick, which I think is this way, and I am correct. Oh, I should probably level too. Yeah. Yeah, let's go and do that.
What?
I just... I'd probably go with psychometry myself. It's a cool concept, and it's a great narrative tool for a game that uses it. I also have to admit I'm biased towards Force Heal, even though it's really simple. I just like the idea of it. We saw that back in the Jedi Academy trilogy, back in the books. I don't want any of these powers. Whatever, let's just start getting some buffs. Well, the droid's gone, so we can actually finally go in here. Let's see. Oh, that's a good point. I should. Did I already... Hang on, where's my feats? Did I already take toughness? I did take toughness, yeah. So I'm going down the toughness path, at least. So, we'll get there. Oh, for God's sakes.
This is private property.
I love, by the way, that the Mattels have a combat droid with a gun, whereas the other group, whose name I can't remember, the Sandrels or whatever, they have just a protocol droid guarding their estate.
You have come from the Jedi Council. Master Matali wishes to speak with you. I will inform him that you are here. Remain at this location until he arrives.
Yeah, nobody wants defense von Falkenstein. It's all about killing.
My protocol droid tells me you are here on behalf of the Council. I was beginning to think my demands had been ignored, though I think your time would be better spent interrogating the Sandrels as to the whereabouts of my son Shen.
This is the last quest we have to quit. After this, we'll be leaving the planet. A bit before lunch break, I would imagine. So I'll probably starting Tatooine and then, taking our lunch break. Why are you so certain the Sandrels are to blame?
Many years ago, I brought my family here to Dantooine to escape the crush of humanity on the core worlds. Soon after we settled here, the Sandrels arrived, and they have been a plague upon my house ever since. The injustices the Sandrels have committed against the Matales are far too numerous to name. But the Council is well aware of our many disputes. Recently, I discovered several Sandrel droids trespassing on my land.
And what were they doing there?
I have no idea what nefarious purpose lay behind their arrival. My own assassination, perhaps? Destruction of my property? Maybe a simple spy mission? I wasn't about to find out. My own security droids destroyed the invaders. Not a single one survived. It was shortly after this incident that Shen, my only son and heir to the Matali estate, vanished. Obviously, Nurik, the unscrupulous head of the Sandrel clan, has abducted my son in retaliation for the destruction of his droids. The only resolution possible is the immediate return of my son. Why does the Council insist on stalling? The life of my son is at stake. Is it possible? Yes, of course. Now I understand. I am a man of the world, Jedi. I know how things are done. I will make a contribution of 1,000 credits to the Council in exchange for rescuing Shen from the Sandrels. I will present the credits directly to you, of course. Whether the Council ever learns of this donation is completely up to you.
Jesus Christ. Thank you very much, Yin the Reaper. Very much obliged the sub. Thank you, sir. And I will put that towards Oblivion. I don't remember everything I said. My preferred lightsaber form is, I think, 7, whatever Vapad or Vapid or whatever it is called.
Nevertheless, my offer still stands. 1,000 credits for Shen's safe return. Know, however, that I will not sit idly by much longer. Eventually, I will take whatever action is necessary to rescue my son, including razing the entire Sandrel estate. Until you find Shen, Jedi, we have nothing further to discuss. I suggest you hurry south to their estate, lest I take matters into my own hands.
I want you to imagine for a moment that his son is Force sensitive. And what that would change to the dynamic of this quest. Don't worry, we'll rescue your son. Looks like we're not having tearing issues, which is good. What's Candorus recommend here? Because I remember the dark side option for this is hilarious. We're not doing it, but it is funny. Yeah, I have no persuade skill, so they're all gonna die. Yeah. I'm not evil. Wait. Yeah, no, I'm right. Ah, gotcha. You should murder them. They stole your son from you.
Let's make this quick.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't heard this already, I am deliberately not using Persuade. That is, I mean, I'm deliberately not raising it, in other words. Because Persuade skill is... How do I phrase this? A lot of games, including actual D&D, tend to treat the diplomacy skill as the I win button. It's basically the thing that you can use in virtually every situation to not only get the best possible solution, but to get more rewards or more information or whatever. That is absolutely true in KOTOR. Going through KOTOR without the Persuade skill is basically universally nerfing yourself. Which is why I'm doing it. Usually I play characters with high charisma and high persuasion, but yeah. That's something different today. Ironically, it would probably be perfectly logical in lore for Revan to have a high charisma and a high persuasion. No, we're not killing Mission. Like, ever. Yeah, you also miss out on lore, which is obviously an important thing to me. But the thing is, and this is the catch, that's true in, like, all of these games. I can't even think of an example off the top of my head of a RPG like this where not having Persuade has something to accommodate the absence of Persuade, whether it's called diplomacy or negotiation or whatever the heck you call it. It's always the same thing. It's the talkie skill, right? It's one of the reasons why bards are, despite the jokes, extremely useful when it comes to D&D.
This is private property. By what authority are you trespassing on this estate?
That's true, Dakota. Deus Ex games? I'm not sure.
The Council. If you are here because of Shen Matale's disappearance, you are wasting your time. The Santos are not involved. This is nothing but a Matale witch hunt.
I'm not here with the Matales.
Nurek left orders he was not to be disturbed, but given the circumstances, I will make an exception. Go into the main hall. Nurek will meet with you there.
Where's a body I didn't loot? Like, I've been over this damn area like 5 times. Is there a... Damn. There's no ability to just hotkey, you know, a specific spell. Terrifying, Valvedrix, although it didn't answer the question. Is it in the Matale state? Because I know there's the prison area, but I thought that was this one, not the other one. It could be the other one. No, apparently I'm wrong. It's... Well, let's just do this. That's just... What knife? I don't have a knife. What are you talking about? Shut up. Oh my god, this is the dumbest interface. I'm about ready to give a negative to this frickin' interface. Let me just... Why does it always reset me to the default every time I see screen transition or load? Is there an option to turn that off that I don't know about? Ugh, okay. Corpse. Oh, I forgot to respond to my dad. I need to do that. At least this robe looks okay. It's not great, but, you know, it's tolerable.
There. Take your pay.
I thought we were trying to avoid cheating, Django. Diary of Cassius Sandral, amateur archaeologist. He tried to discover the source of the ancient ruins. Upon reading it, you discover he had found correlation between the ruins and something called the Rack. I hope it's not the Tada, because that would be terrible. No, this one. This is so sad, but the more we play this, the more I'm remembering how much I prefer KOTOR 2 from a gameplay perspective. If you guys remember, I didn't really remember that, the distinction between the two at all, until we got to the lore run, and we're playing through 2, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so much better, because I had just played 1 right before it. And I was like, oh my god, why is this so much better? I don't understand.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay, ahem. Oh, 1's still a good game. I think the positives right next to me should distinguish that if nothing else. Valdrick's rights issues, stupidity, boredom, greed, take your pick. I really don't know, though.
Now.
Well, Brigwin can help you out with that retro, but I cannot. I could stab you, though.
So be it. Now.
I suppose if we ever review KOTOR 2, we'll probably be having all the bugs from the new version. Because I'll be playing the GOG version, I guess. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Actually, the droid army in the Clone Wars is almost universally used for comic relief, which really irritates the crap out of me, by the way. Like, you'd think a droid army, an army of marching killing machines would be terrifying, but no, they're the comedy.
Nureg left orders he was not to be disturbed.
You must gather your party.
Huh? I'm here.
I'm here.
Here's an interesting question.
I have been informed by my protocol droid that you wish to speak to me.
Why do you think that mechanic exists? The you must gather your party thing. Real question. Because by this point in history, programming-wise, they probably had the ability to just do a transition and a shift regardless of the specific location of the objects, rather than requiring them all to be in a zone line. So you can't cheese fights. I mean, I guess, but it's still, I think, a net negative, but that's mostly because of the bad pathfinding. So I guess if we were to score that down under the negative category, it would be pathing. Because if they were just with you all the time, that would never be a problem. Although that does lock you into not being able to run away from a fight in certain circumstances, which I actually discovered earlier with the albino Kathhound. So that's dumb. But whatever. Your son is dead!
Cassius is dead? I was afraid of this. Yet in my heart I knew it must be true. What happened to my son?
I killed him.
Kathhounds? I was so certain the Matali family was to blame. But this changes nothing. My own son is dead. Why should I shed one tear about the disappearance of my bitter enemy's son?
Typical. Anything to continue the feud which has become so customary to you people.
I must ask you something, though it is difficult for me. My son had a diary, his private, personal thoughts. Now that he is gone, I have nothing else to remember him by. Please, the diary means more to me than it ever could to you. I will give you 100 credits for its return.
Keep your money, dude.
I thank you for this. The diary is all I have left of my son. We have nothing further to discuss. Please, leave me to my grief.
Lol, Django.
You are here from the council, are you not? Looking for Shen Matale?
Yeah.
My name is Rahasia. Nurik is my father. He has not been himself since Cassius disappeared. He is mad with grief, and he is convinced the Matales are responsible. He's not thinking rationally.
So, what does that have to do with Shen?
My father is a good man. When my mother died, he raised me and my brother by himself. He loves his children, and we love him. I just don't want you to judge him.
You're prefacing this a little bit too much.
You must understand that Father has been under a terrible strain. I have no wish to disobey him, but there are matters where even my father's authority is not absolute. My father has kidnapped Shen Matale. He is holding him prisoner here in the compound. He feels this is a way to get back at the Matales, a way to get even for the disappearance of my brother Cassius.
I see. Well, there is the answer we seek. The Jedi Council should be informed of this at once.
No. Since Cassius went missing, my father has become unstable. He might hurt him if you do that. He no longer even cares if the Matales are responsible for what happened to Cassius. I am afraid my father will simply kill Shen out of a mad, misguided lust for vengeance.
Why are you telling me this?
Shen is an innocent victim in all this. My father is not a bad man, but his grief has driven him to madness. He must be stopped. Please, find Shen and rescue him before my father does something he will regret forever. I would take you to the prison, but I cannot let my father see me with you. Take this key. It will open an unguarded door at the rear of the estate. You and Shen can make your escape through there. There are many security droids guarding the halls. Please hurry. You are Shen's only hope.
Why do you care about Shen?
Shen and I, we have been taught by our families to hate each other, just for being related to our fathers. But I met Shen alone one day in the city, away from his father. And Shen was so charming, so sweet. He didn't care at all that I was a Sandral. He just accepted me for who I was, with no reservations. We talked and met again over months and fell in love. My brother Cassius met him too, and they were beginning to become friends. But then this whole mess had to happen. Please find Shen and free him. You are my only hope.
Oh yeah, by the way, someone was asking why I would choose Naboo over, Dantooine. Kathhounds. Like, it's just kind of a normal thing, I suppose, for people in this setting to die, but... If I'm going to the grocery store, I don't want to risk death every time I go. I don't know. Not unless I have tremendous personal power, which of course I wouldn't. Yeah, in the ocean, Dream Whisperer. I'm not worried about that. I'm up here. I'm good. I'm good. Let's go level these. Worthless level.
I'm here.
That's true, Maxis Corvin. Although I have several interface problems with KOTOR 1, but most of that's down to preference. For example, I don't like the fact that it resets these buttons down here every time I zone change. I don't like the fact that in order to switch between these, I have to click this tiny little thing down here in order to have hotkey available. I don't like the fact that my health bar is this dinky little thing in the lower left that you guys probably can't even see. And so on and so forth. There's a lot of little niggles. Although I do want to write something down before I forget. Oh, I already did. Let's do this. Come on. There we go. Mouse wheel does work? Hang on. What? Hey, there. Mouse wheel does work, but, yeah. I don't think I would consider that viable. Oh, jeez. What am I shooting? What am I shooting?
Huh?
Now, time to see if someone was lying to me. No experience.
I'm here. What?
Aha! He does have war droids! Here, I was gonna be nice about it. Thank you for telling me that, Bryzer, because that is gonna help. Although, none of that fixes the reset every frickin' zone line problem, but at least I have an easier way of dealing with it, so thank you. Do I have any computer? I have 10 spikes.
Of course you follow me. They all do.
And that's why computer is amazing. Any questions? Well, that looked like a donation. So let's see what we got here. I'm right! Thank you very much, Von Falkenstein. Very much appreciate the support. Thank you, sir. And I'll put that towards KOTOR 2, which actually is already on the list. Although I think it's in the vault because of how little interest has been put towards it, but it's there. That's more like it. Let's rob this place blind while we're here. We need that money because we keep refusing rewards. Yeah, Chrono Trigger was in the vault for a long time, too. There's actually a bunch of games in there that I'm a little surprised have no interest, but I suspect it's mostly people don't check the vault, which wouldn't surprise me. There's the key. Thank you, Bragwin. Yeah, I'll get back to it. Oh, God! Enemy droids! Hello. You know, I'd feel bad for wiping out all these war droids, but honestly, like, does he need all these? Also, yeah, as Permeus points out, we're probably going to end with a bad ending to this quest. So... 60. Lord Harriman. Or yellow status. Either one pulls it out of the vault. I think there's actually one thing in the vault I need to pull out. I haven't, because I'm a little behind on updating the website, but otherwise it should be completely up to date. Poop. Like I said, it doesn't surprise me if I'm Falkenstein. We have a huge queue list. It's actually why the vault exists, because the existing list is just too freaking big. A little bit too much there. Like, I recently just put, I think, what, like 8 games out of the list? And there's still a gigantic queue waiting for it. Alright, so where's Dude Phase? He should be over here.
Please, find Shen.
Oh, that's just her.
Please.
Right. Sorry, I thought you were a dude. My bad. Let's go here, then. I believe Halo Wars is down in the vault, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. It might have been pulled out.
Who are you? What do you want with me? Are you working for my father?
True, von Falkenstein. My name's Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Rescue me? No. I won't leave. It's too dangerous.
I will kill you.
It's not my own safety I'm concerned about. I'm worried about the fate of Nurik's daughter, Rahasia.
Fine, I'll kill
She's been trying to
her.
convince her father to release me ever since I was captured. If I escape, Nurik will think Rahasia is to blame. Nurik is insane with grief over the loss of his son, Cassus. If I leave with you, it is Rahasia who will suffer. I cannot allow that.
What if we take her with us?
If you can convince Rahasia to escape with us, I will accompany you. Though I do not know if she'd be willing to turn her back on her home and family. Who could imagine a Sandral doing such a thing for the sake of a Matali? But if she will not go, then I too shall stay. I would rather face my own death than have her face her father's wrath because I escaped.
Why do you care about her?
I was taught to hate the Sandrals, to think of them as evil and subhuman. But from the moment I saw Rahasia one day in the city, I knew that my father was wrong. She was like an angel, all white silks and perfume, seeming to float above the crowds. I don't know what else I could have done but fall in love with her. For months I wooed her and tried to win her heart. I believe I have succeeded, but now this has happened. Our families are always coming between us one way or another. Please find her and convince her to run away with me.
I love that line of dialogue. Please find her and convince her to run away with me. Hey.
What are you doing here? Have you found Shen yet?
Yeah, but he won't leave without you.
Shen can be so stubborn sometimes. If one of the security droids sees me wandering the halls, Father will get suspicious. I can't risk it.
No problem.
Die, then leave me here alone to face the wrath of my father. Tell Shen I will meet you outside the gates. I will wait as long as I can, but you must hurry.
No, seriously, there's no security droids. Trust me. You're fine. Kind of wish the game would acknowledge that. No, it's cool. They're all gone.
You're back. Have you spoken to Rahasia?
Yes.
I pray she is not just telling me what I want to hear, but I will have to take that chance. Hurry then, we must not keep Rahasia waiting.
So...
Shen, you're safe.
Rahasia! Well, thank goodness you managed to escape.
It was all thanks to this kind Jedi that we managed to get this far at all. I thank you, Jedi, for all that you have done for us.
Don't thank me. Really, please don't thank me.
No, we know that you must have gone to great personal risk to get us out of the Sandral estate undetected. But surely we can...
Here it comes. So, how badly do you think this is going to go? Because we don't have a persuade skill, really. Not really.
There you are, Shen.
Father!
Mr. Matale.
Rahasia!
Father!
Mr. Sandral!
Nurik! Alan! I knew this was all your doing. I knew you had captured my son.
You had taken my Cassus from me long before that. You started it.
I don't want to hear any of your excuses. Now I will get revenge for your transgressions.
Why don't you two just shoot each other and get it over with? No, I'm going to try to make this work, even though I know I can't get the best result.
Please listen to her, Father.
Why should I listen to the Jedi? All you want is to remain with that Sandral harlot.
My daughter is not a harlot, Matale dog!
Why don't you try listening to your children for 5 milliseconds?
Our children don't know enough of what's good for them to make a reasonable decision.
It's better to let older, wiser heads like ours make the decisions.
Rahesia and I don't want you to make decisions for us. We want to live alone away from you.
You insolent boy! If you want to live alone, then so be it. I disown you. Never set foot in my house again.
Rahesia, you will not leave with this Matale boy.
I am, Father, and you can't stop me. We're leaving for the Enclave.
You foolish girl.
Don't be so selfish, nerd.
You think to make us stand here, then?
You expect us to just let them leave? Droids, stop them!
You will not turn your droids on my daughter. Droids, don't let them take Rahesia.
We appear to be at an impasse, then. And they got away.
It is your fault, Alan. You were always too violent for your own good.
Me? You were the one who rushed out here with war droids.
I love option 3 there. It's even in all caps. I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. Pull out my lightsaber. Shut up!
Do not tell me what to do, Jedi. The Council will hear of the trouble you caused here today. Indeed they shall.
So, yeah. That's actually basically the second best result, if I'm not mistaken. So, Dakota was correct. I love that idea, though. Both of them being liches. Yeah, I'm actually surprised I managed to not get anyone killed there. So, woo, I guess I can just hark back. What, Bashila? What?
How can I help?
You look like something's bothering you.
No, not bothering me. Not exactly. I've been thinking about what the Jedi Council said about the two of us. There is a bond between us. I do not dispute that. I can feel it, as I'm sure you can. The nature of that bond and its effect on our mission remain in question.
Doesn't that mean my presence is necessary?
Necessary, perhaps, but it is no guarantee of our success. I admit, I'm a little disturbed that such a bond could be possible in the first place. I saw your service records when you were transferred aboard the Ender Spire, but nothing beyond that. I know very little about you. I'd like to ask you some questions, given our relationship.
Sure.
Don't worry, these are simple questions. Nothing too intrusive. First, what kind of background do you have?
I'm a Hutt in human form plotting to overthrow the Republic.
Good. On which planet were you born?
Kashyyyk. I'm a Wookiee, can't you tell?
Excellent. Your current age is?
3012.
Yes. Well, the truth is, I was studying how you responded to my questions. Your reactions helped me judge you. This was a test for me to learn more about your character.
Uh-huh.
You were honest, which is good. And you treated this as a serious matter, which it is. This bond we share will shape both our destinies. It is not to be taken lightly. But I imagine you've had enough questions for a while. So many things have happened to you since Taris. It's probably a lot for you to absorb. We can speak again later, after you've had time to think about all this.
Yeah, so in case you missed that, that was her checking to make sure the reprogrammed memories were working correctly. You know, the new identity. I need to remember that.
Ah, you have returned, young Padawan. Have you discovered what it was that Revan and Malak sought in those ruins?
Starforge.
This news of a Starforge is disturbing. Action is required, but we must not do so in haste. We must discuss recent events in light of this new information.
We should consult the Jedi archives to see if there's any mention of the Starforge and what it might do. We must learn why Revan and Malak sought it out.
Return to your ship with Bastila, and we will summon you when we are done.
I was just...
Padawan, you have done well in discovering the star map hidden within the ancient ruins. But there is more you must do in the battle against Malak and the Sith. We Jedi know victory over the Sith will not come through martial might.
Why
The
not?
Council has a mission for you, Padawan.
I've consulted our vast archives in an effort to discover the nature of this Star Forge, but all my efforts have been in vain.
Still, the Council are in agreement. The Star Forge must be found. Revan and Malak sought it out when they began their tragic fall. The Star Forge is surely a powerful tool of the dark side.
The star map in the ruins showed you 4 planets, but it was incomplete. It did not show the location of the Star Forge itself. We believe there may be similar star maps on other planets. Each star map is likely a small piece of a larger puzzle. Find the star maps on Kashyyyk, Tatooine, Manan, and Korriban, and we believe they will lead you to the Star Forge.
Okay.
The Jedi numbers have been ravaged by this war, by defections to Malak's cause, and by Sith assassins. But we realize the importance of this mission. Yet if we send a company of Jedi Knights with you, we would surely draw the full attention of Malak and the Sith, dooming your efforts to failure.
As an aside, I am amused that they automatically presume it's a terrible tool of the dark side. It actually is, but they're just presuming that because that's kind of the way the Jedi Council thinks. I mean, it turned them towards the dark side, so it must be the dark side. It's the only thing that makes sense. Vitiate couldn't possibly have anything to do with that.
Secrecy is our best defense against the Sith, but it would be foolish to send you on this quest without someone to aid you, young Padawan. Bastila will accompany you, for there is a powerful connection between you two.
And we need someone to watch you.
A connection that might be the key to unraveling the mysteries uncovered by Revan. And Juhani has also asked to accompany you. After long deliberation, we have granted her request.
Juhani nearly fell to the dark side. Perhaps her presence will serve as a reminder to you of the dangers of that path.
Of course, those who aided you on Taris will also come. They possess skills you may find useful in your quest. Remember that secrecy and discretion are paramount to your success. You will not be able to hide the fact that you are a Jedi, nor should you. But the true nature of your mission must not reach Malak's ears. You may return here at any time. Dantooine will be a sanctuary for you, a safe haven. Here you can find supplies and whatever advice or other aid we may give you.
Okay, I got this.
You can leave whenever you wish. The sooner the better. The longer you wait, the stronger Malak becomes. But first, a warning, young Padawan. The lure of the dark side is difficult to resist. I fear this quest to find the Star Forge could lead you down an all too familiar path.
The fate of the galaxy is in your hands, young Padawan. We pray you are up to the challenge. May the Force be with you.
Sure. You know, no pressure or anything like that. There we go. What could be more dangerous than the Sith? Oh god, I can never pronounce that word. Terentatek. There we go. Oh yeah, that was a Kashi in the middle of that. What the heck? How could a creature be dangerous to a Jedi? So, I'm gonna leave now. Thanks for telling me about the super mega death force-eating death creatures. Alright, let's do a quick reconnoiter. Why do I have a swoop in here?
Yeah, what do you want? You want to hear tales of my exploits? Of the wars I've seen and fought, the enemies I've seen die by my hand? Sure, I'll humor you. My name's Canderous, of the Mandalorian clan Ordo. I've been fighting across the galaxy for 40 of your years. For my people, it is the honor and glory of battle that rules us. It's through combat that we prove our worth, gain renown, and make our fortunes. The Sith came to us with an offer. To fight a worthy enemy in a battle that would be remembered forever. Win or lose, as long as the fight is worthy, then honor is gained. The glory at having triumphed over impossible odds is what drives us. If there's nothing at stake, your possessions, your life, your world, then the battle's meaningless. We Mandalore take everything we are and throw it into battle. It's the true test of yourself. The battle against death, against oblivion. Times have changed now. The Mandalore clans have been scattered across the Outer Rim. The Republic is in decline, and the Sith Empire rises to take its place. The clans as they were aren't a threat, but the galaxy still fears us. People think we war out of spite or bloodlust. They don't understand, and fear that. We only wanted the challenge of the battle, and glory from it, win or lose. And we lost. But now I have no real challenges. Crushing Davik's enemies and the pathetic gangs in the lower city of Taris could not be considered the most glorious of tasks. When I think of the battles I've fought, the thousands I've killed, the worlds I've burned, I weep for my past. We will never again speak of this. We've got work to do, so let's get to it.
I mean, don't you guys go to war because of stupidity? I shouldn't talk about that.
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before, in the Grove. It was wrong of me.
By the way, if memory serves, basically all of these little side conversations are completely optional.
I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own. Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
Yeah, Vitiate and his interference here was kind of put in after the fact. Although they do mention the Sith came to the Mandalorians with an offer. In fact, he just said that. I'm not actually sure what their original intent with that line was, considering it does line up pretty neatly with the Vitiate thing. Where the hell? Oh, they're up front, aren't they? Right. Get there. This is how you travel through planets.
How can I help? I do? How did you know?
Well, your face is all scrunched up.
I'm a Jedi. I am far too disciplined to betray my emotions with outward physical displays. We both know the real reason you have some idea of what I'm thinking, the bond we share.
Maybe.
Our connection allows us glimpses into each other's mind. We can feel some of what the other feels, and what I feel within you troubles me. A Padawan must receive considerable training. They must learn to control their emotions and darker impulses. Often it takes years before using the Force can be considered safe. The fact that you are so strong in the Force and have had such relatively little training could have terrible consequences. For you, and for everyone around you.
Yeah, funnily enough, I'm pretty sure Vitiate was actually added after the fact. Even though KOTOR 2 makes it clear and foreshadows the idea of the ancient Sith. You know, the hidden Sith, right? But I'm pretty sure, this is just my opinion, that KOTOR 2 still did not have Vitiate in mind when they were writing that. You can warn me when I'm about to do something bad. Blink once for dark side, twice for light.
This is not a joke. The choices you make could affect both our destinies. Not to mention the fate of the Republic and the entire galaxy. There is much at stake. Thankfully, you've exhibited a degree of compassion and self-control up to this point. I sincerely hope you can maintain these traits in the future. We must all resist the influence of the dark side. It's everything we are fighting against. This is doubly important for you, with your natural affinity for the Force.
But I love having power!
That's good to hear. Without the proper training, however, I'm afraid you will find the path difficult even with the best of intentions. There is great danger ahead for both of us. Our destinies are intertwined. Everything one of us does will have consequences for the other. Any reckless behavior on your part is likely to affect me as well.
Last I checked, I thought the thing that in KOTOR 1, and ignoring everything else, that actually ended up turning them was the Starforge itself. Remember, the Starforge has a feedback loop built into it. That's what killed the Rakatans, or at least the Rakatan Empire.
I believe you truly mean what you say, for now, but sometimes it is not so easy to keep such promises. Your power could be a gift or a curse. When you need guidance or advice or support, I will do my best to help you stay on the path of the light.
I stand by my headcanon, Django. At least within the confines of one. You know, it's funny. I dislike Tor's connection to KOTOR, but I really like Tor in an independent state. It's really frustrating.
I only hope I have the wisdom to help you through the dark times. But for now, we should return to our mission.
Like I've said it before, Tor does some really smart stuff. And then it tries to have Revan in it, and it's like, no, stop. Stop it.
Yes, what's on your mind? I thought I said I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Don't you think you'd feel better if you discussed it?
Listen, sister, just because we're working together doesn't mean you get to go badger me with constant questions.
I mean...
Blast it if you aren't the most frustrating woman to talk to. Isn't there someone else you can harass for a little while?
I'm frustrating?
What, me? What did I do?
I'm sorry, where have you been?
Okay, I give up. You win. Look, I suppose I could use someone to talk to. I'm just not used to it, and I don't know why you're so interested, but here goes. When I think of all the men who betrayed us, the one that stands out above all of them is the one that I respected the most. Saul.
Its name sounds familiar.
With good reason. Admiral Saul Karath is the commander of the entire Sith fleet. He's half the reason Malak has done so well in the war. Saul was my commanding officer back when the Mandalorian Wars first began. He taught me everything about being a soldier, and I looked up to him. Saul approached me before he left. He talked to me about how the Republic was on the losing side and about how I should start thinking of my survival. I know now that he was trying to recruit me into the Sith, but I couldn't have conceived of it back then. I argued with him and he got angry and he left. I never saw him again. Saul was my mentor. He led us to so many victories against the Mandalorians. Even when things looked to be at their worst, I couldn't conceive of it. He couldn't be serious. I was wrong, of course. He not only left us for the Sith, he gave them the codes to bypass our scanners. I remember waking up as the first of the Sith bombers snuck past our defenses and began destroying half of our docked ships. I knew right away what had happened. I mean, I could have stopped him. I could have stopped it all. I don't know, maybe. He might have killed me if I tried, or I might have killed him. I was stupid, however, and I let him go. I fought Saul for years now, and if I ever catch up to him, he will regret what he's done. He will regret it.
No, he won't. He will die, but he'll die petty and vindictive.
Well, there's more to the story, I guess. But I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's go.
Okay. God, jeez. So bad. All right, let's go to Yavin 4. I think that's the best possible spot to go to, which is not that, or that, or that, or that. There it is. Meanwhile...
Lord Malak, the Starforge is operating at 200% capacity, far beyond our expectations.
I am more interested in the young Jedi Bastila and her battle meditation. Have you learned how she escaped the destruction of Taris?
She was aided by Karth Onasi, a decorated war hero of the Republic and a legendary soldier.
During the Mandalore Wars, he was honored many times for his bravery.
You know this man?
Yes, Lord Malak. He served under me when I still followed the Republic. You could say I was his mentor.
Interesting. How did you acquire this information, Admiral?
An eyewitness, Lord Malak. Calo Nord, a bounty hunter, was there when Bastila and Karth escaped the planet. Apparently, they left him for dead.
A Jedi and a war hero. It's a wonder you survived the encounter.
I am hard to kill, Lord Malak.
Calo has agreed to help us capture the young Bastila for a very hefty fee, of course. But I assure you he is well worth the price. His reputation as a bounty hunter is well earned.
Her companions are nothing to me, Calo. But I desire the young Jedi taken alive, if at all possible.
Lord Malak, forgive me. There is something else. May we have a private audience away from the ears of the common soldiers?
I trust you are not wasting my time, Admiral Kareth.
I promise you will be very interested in what Calo has to tell you about Bastila's other companions, Lord Malak.
Abrupt transition. No disintegrations. Oh my god, I've got a stowaway. I will kill everyone on this ship until the stowaway reveals themselves. Wait, that won't work. Sorry, I was channeling Darth Malak there for a second. Well, I wonder how she got on board the ship. I mean, granted, I guess we're not exactly defending the ship. It's always bothered me in Star Wars. They never actually defend their ship. They just land it and they assume no one else is gonna hop on board. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I lock my car when I go to the grocery store. You know, it's kind of a. All right, real question time, guys. Is Calo Nord a full negative or a partial negative? I'm actually curious of your thoughts. Because holy crap. I'm thinking story at the moment. Gameplay-wise, I'll have to judge that when we get to the next fight. Which is going to be on Tatooine, because we're going there first, right in front of the Krayt Dragon, if memory serves. Yeah, like, he survives because, to my knowledge, no effort is ever made to explain his survival. And, as I went out of my way to point out earlier, we actually see his corpse under a bunch of rubble that fell on his face. Back, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, the only explanation, god dang it, the only explanation we ever get is, I am tough to kill, Lord Malak. I never remember the order in which to do these. There she is.
Kipuna, Bonanak. Selima Wanga. Muchashakapaka. Muchashakapaka.
Revan.
Muchashakapaka.
Sasha.
Tonki ba non.
That sounds Mandalorian.
Kipuna. Selima. Kipuna.
Okay.
Tonki. Tonki ba. Tong Abu.
Just gonna zipping through this because I hate made-up languages. God.
Tong. Kipuna. Kipuna. Tong. Tong.
Kipuna.
Muchashakapak. Dong.
I don't know why this wasn't working. Oh, here we go.
Sil. Dong. Much. Kipuna. Kipuna. Dong. 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 Kipuna. Kipuna. Kipu. Dong. Much. Dong. Dong. Mucho shak. Sil. Kip. Dong.
So she left the Mandalorians, came here to the ship. Why are the Mandalorians bad? So they took her, it wasn't your home, so she was kidnapped victim.
Dong.
So she sleeps here. Okay, I'm with it.
Dong. Donkey.
A Kaivural Vilem indeed. What's really interesting to me is they go out of their way to actually make a lot of her language have an actual logic to it. I know I was just racing through that. But there's a pattern to the words she uses, and that's how we kind of figure it out. It's probably worth noting that this is actually pretty well done for the limitations. Like, in real life, there's other ways to communicate that don't involve language. I've talked about that many times. But here they just try to piece through it based on specific word usage. I don't remember who to talk to on Dantooine for her, though. I really don't. Yeah, I actually thought the Mandalorians, like, you had to earn the right to become a Mandalorian and all that. I could be misremembering, and Lord knows the Mandalorians have gone through several retcons, so what the hell do I know? Oh, right, that guy. Okay. Sure, here, come here. It's pretty much going to be my party until we get Jolee. Exactly, Uthor. Now you understand. Yeah, I'm new. I'm trying to save the galaxy from the Sith. Doesn't even know about the current war. So anyways, this is a vendor. Yeah, to be slightly more accurate, this is the vendor. He also talks about Exar Kun a little bit. Exar Kun was more powerful than any Sith Lord who has come since. I have heard several people argue that Exar Kun is basically the second strongest Sith Lord there's ever been, like in all of Star Wars history. I don't know what I think of that, but he definitely is in the top tier, so I can see why people would think that. Gilfa Gowana Gilfa. Oh yeah, he definitely made a big splash. I've also heard it argued that Exar Kun more or less individually is responsible for a huge amount of Star Wars history, and that I agree with. I don't have a leg. Yeah, sure. So, Pazaak. I hate Pazaak so much. Yeah, even the Great Hyperspace War wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, and no, I have no interest in Star Wars Resistance. Sorry. It's absolutely true, Von Falkenstein. As I've said before, Kun was also someone who just leapt into the dark side. Just lunged. Like, he was already evil, in my opinion. So yeah, for those of you not aware, the way this works is this is effectively blackjack, except you can affect the rating of it, and the AI cheats. there's a few other rules, too, that I don't remember, if I'm being completely honest. Let's go ahead and play big first. And I lose. It is, of course, optional, but we've already had our discussions many times about how much optional doesn't matter for reviewing. Anyways. As I say, don't you need to win a lot against him? Which I don't think I care about trying to do. So, he sells nice stuff. And I think he has 3 shop upgrades? I don't remember. I know he gets. I know his stock gets better as the game goes on. I don't remember the specific 2. Excuse me, 2 shop upgrades. I'm not sure if any of this is actually worth picking up right now, and it doesn't matter because I can't afford anything in this list. But I could start unloading some stuff. I'm not ignoring you, Huthor. I have to think about that. And I'm in the middle of trying to do this thing. And yes, this was DLC, although I didn't find that out for years. Honestly, I'm never going to use those, so I might as well just dump them. I think that's everything. Okay, Huthor, okay. I think we'll actually cut off here before we go to Tatooine. So, just to answer the question really quick. Mandalorian has always been a combination... It's kind of like the Jedi, in my opinion. Now, I know that this has changed because it's Star Wars, and then we've got the EU and different writers, and then we've got the AU. But I've always thought of them like the Jedi in the sense that there's the Jedi, and then there's the Jedi. As in the identity and then the organization, right? The Mandalorian organizations are almost universally horrible in virtually every time they've shown up. Notably this game, the next game, and the next game. Tor counted in that one. But I will have to say that as far as the Mandalorian identity, I don't actually know if it's true in the AU, because I haven't actually looked into it. But one of the things I liked about the EU, and this is mostly in the books, in fact I think this is entirely in the books, is I would absolutely say that both Jango and Boba ended up being in the identity of a Mandalorian. Idealized, I think is the way I want to phrase that. Let me put it to you this way, Huthorn, I know you'll get this. They're Worf. Or at least Boba is. I'm not sure if Jango is, but I know Boba is. Now, how you want to think of that is up to you. But, by the way, quick aside anecdote. Jango Fett was originally Boba Fett. I'm serious. And then he realized that he was going to have some age problems with that, so he solved that by making Boba a effective son of Jango, a clone. Just interesting to think about. Hey, Larian, welcome to the lunch break. I'm going to chop off, but there's one last thing. No, I have not, Harriet, and I never will until I finally have time to. Yeah, no, dude, I don't have time for that. In fact, based on things, I might have less time in the future, too, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I think I am going to go ahead and I'm going to give a plus to gameplay and a plus to story right now. I'm sorry, Michael Romano. I will be back in an hour. You're probably thinking, what are these pluses? And I always got to justify these. Plus to story, side quest design. I do like a lot of what the side quests do when it comes to fleshing out character setting. You know, there's some fun stuff there, basically. Gameplay-wise, I do like the variety of the actual side quests. Like I said, I do actually think the side quests in this game are good. I think they're enjoyable. In fact, I think they're one of the more enjoyable aspects of it. I would actually go so far as to say that I tend to enjoy the side quests more than I enjoy most of the main quests, both from a story and from a gameplay design perspective. I'm going to debate if those get additional pluses going forward, but as of this point, I think that's pretty definitive. And yeah, the main quest is pretty simplistic. It's actually the Oblivion problem. Oblivion's main quest is... Oblivion's side quests are awesome, in my opinion. At least some of them are. I am going to go ahead and give a full story negative to Calo Nord. I'm not sure if I'll ever give any gameplay things to him. I'll have to debate that in the future. But Calo Nord is... Do I need to make my point there? His survival and his usage in the story are just stupid. I think that's it for the moment. I think I'm going to jot this down, Tal. So another potential story positive going forward. Quick, ask. Ice Tray, quick. Okay, the longer you take, the more I'm going to pick up Frostmourne, okay? So I'm going to slowly pick up Frostmourne. Oh, you asked the question. Did he know who Revan was? That's a good question. It is definitely implied. As to whether he did or not, I don't know. I've always presumed it's more along the lines of the fact that he simply described Revan to Saul Karath, who then recognized Revan and could then describe it to, you know, what's his freaking name? Malak, who could then identify Revan. That's my take on it, anyways. Ow. I would actually agree that Boba Fett was at least... Okay. Boba Fett was actually a pretty well done and interesting character in Empire Strikes Back, in my opinion. He was a development through absence kind of character, but I think they did a good job of it. We learned a reasonable amount about Boba Fett and what he was and how he operated and his role within the story, and he played a critical role in the story. By contrast, in Return of the Jedi, he just kind of stands there for the most part and acts as a thug on the payroll of the Hutt, and then dies like a chump. You know? I really do feel that the contrast between Boba Fett Empire and Boba Fett Return is night and day. It's probably at least part of the reason that, you know, they decided to have him survive the Sarlacc pit. Regardless, I'm going to chop off for lunch, and I will be back in about an hour.